Thrones Tonight is filmed in front of a live studio audience. It's Thrones Tonight with Ben Davey. Tonight, the Christmas quiz with James Walmsley and contestants Joe Zimmer, Matt Eddleman, and special guest George Ankers. And now, Sir Blackwater, Ben Davey.
Thank you, and welcome back to Thrones Tonight, episode 2, the show that decided after 2 episodes to have a Christmas special, because, you know...
It's time to shake up that format.
Exactly, don't want to get too dull. Right guys, tonight, as you heard in the intro, we do have, and you just heard his dulcet tones, we have George as a
Hello there.
Guest quizzer. We have Joe from the Old Southern Bannerman podcast and won some championship in the UK or something.
Hello.
We have Matt, who was on last time.
Hello.
And our host, he's the current reigning European champion, I guess. Possibly, I've heard, allegedly. I didn't see it, so I don't know if it counts. Wamma.
Hello. I'm pretty sure Wilco is now the...
Yeah, I was excited for Wilco. Who's Wamma?
Oh, that's Starlet champ. That's not European champ. That's different.
Yeah, that's just a tournament.
Oh, that's a controversial thing.
Basically, world champ.
And we just lost half the viewership. Wamma's European champion. He's Starlet European champion, surely.
But can he be European champion if he's English?
Well,
like Brexit and all
that. Leaving Europe, we're just...
We'll have to check this one. But I imagine it's like the WWE, where you have like the grand champion and then the super grand champion and then the reigning grand champion. It's kind of like that.
It is true that they had to introduce a new belt to crown a champion, and they wanted to make it sound more prestigious than being the world heavyweight champion.
So they added
They made it the universal champion.
which is double meaning, because you're either champion of the universe or you're the champion of the WWE universe, which is all you fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's pretty depressing and sad.
That kind of implies there's going to be a WWE cinematic universe.
Well,
Yeah.
there kind of is. I mean, hey, the Marine 3 is okay.
That sounds like someone that's watched any of them.
I have.
That's fair. But in any case, there is one thing that I am definitely not the champion of, and that is the quiz that we're doing tonight.
Dun dun dun!
The quiz that brought you, was it Santa Melisandre?
It did. So this is essentially a sequel to Southern Bannerman episode 27, which was last year's Christmas quiz that I also hosted with the same cast of contestants except without a George. This year we decided to spice up the format, and so we've added a George.
Sweet.
And we've also further developed it by having new questions.
Oh,
I was the same ones.
Oh,
yeah, I studied for
damn.
about 5 hours. This is the old questions.
Yeah.
I even memorised the order, so you're going to say, what? And a buzz, I'm like, Tyrion, it was Tyrion, yes!
I will say 3 of these rounds are the same. Again, with different questions, just the same theme to the round to mix it up.
Okay.
So if you've remembered exactly how the format worked from last year and like prepared likewise, then you'll do very, very well.
Oh.
I allowed myself exactly 1 piece of revision for this quiz. I'm really excited to see if it pays off.
I'm waiting to see what this is.
Yeah, I really hope it comes up now. I hope it comes up, you brag about the fact that it came up, and then you get it wrong.
Oh yeah, that's inevitable.
Okay, shall we go straight into it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So, Ben sounds like...
Hodor.
Matt sounds like...
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
Joe sounds like...
Dracarys.
George sounds like
Shame.
controversial, but we'll allow it. Okay, so with that smooth transition out of the way, let's go into round one. And I've given all of these rounds vague Game of Thronesy names. So round one is Maester Malion's Tome. So the format of this round is going to be that I'm going to give you the name of a deck that has performed well in 2018. Oh, it's worth also stating most of the questions in this quiz, not all of them, but most of them are going to be about the last year. Because that's the easiest way to make sure I'm not cannibalizing answers from last year's quiz.
That's fair.
So I'm going to give you the name of a deck that's done well in 2018. First person to buzz gets to try to give me the name of the deck's creator, the deck's faction, the deck's agenda, and a tournament that the deck performed well at. And you get a point for each of them. If you get any of that information wrong, you lose a point. And if you get everything correct, then you get an extra bonus point, because 5 is a neater number than 4. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So the first deck is The Lannisters Send Their Regards.
Hodor.
Ben.
That's by Wilco.
Yep.
And that is Stark, Banner of the Lion.
Yep.
And what was the fourth thing I had to ask?
The tournament that it performed well at.
Oh, Stark.
Yep, correct. 5 points for Ben.
Kind of cheating.
That's...
I am literally interviewing him tomorrow about this.
Wow.
Trailer for the next episode here.
Well, potentially as this goes live last week, I mean, yes.
Okay. Second deck is I Want to Fall from the Stars straight into your broken arms. Joe buzzes in way through.
Joshua Chambers, Martel HRD, and when he done well with it at Fracas.
Yep. That is another 5 points.
All right.
That is Josh's Martel Starfall melee deck.
Ah.
Third one is The Never Renly Story of a Dancing Queen.
Dracarys.
And Joe again.
Okay, this is Nicolo
Yep.
with Tyrell Alliance, Dragon Cohort, and Italian Nationals.
Yep. Perfecto, as I believe they do say at the Italian. Okay. Fourth one is A Song of Stand and Power.
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
Matt.
Okay, that was the guy's name, Diomedes, also known as Hanno Lunser.
Yep, I would have accepted Diomedes, but I'll definitely accept both Diomedes and his...
Okay, it was Song of Stand and Power, so that's going to be Tyrell, Lord of the Crossing.
Okay, and the event?
And the event was... Okay, this is where I'm going to lose it.
It's also worth saying you can choose to pass rather than give info if you're worried about losing a point.
Oh, I'll pass the event.
Okay. So you'll get 3 points for that. The event was, you could have either had Prague Regionals, where it was the runner-up, or you could have had Euros, where it was the runner-up.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah. And last deck for the round is Sweeney's deck.
Dracarys.
Joe.
Richard Walker, Stark Reigns, and hold on. UK Nationals.
I'll give you UK Nationals. It's not the one I had written down.
Is it? Yeah, North. He's done so many of them.
I have the Stanton Regional, which is the event that he actually won with it. But yeah.
Okay.
I'll accept UK Nationals because I think being runner-up at Nationals is pretty damn impressive as well.
I think he posted it with that name as well afterwards, or a revision.
Yeah. So yeah, what else? Who else could have made Sweeney's deck other than Richard Walker? Okay, and that is the end of round one. So the scores are Joe massively in the lead with 15 points, and in second with 5, Matt with 3 in third, and then George is letting everyone else get a head start.
Yeah, I don't want to be too uppity about it.
Well, if you're worried that this quiz is going to be too competitive, you're right. So round 2 is going to be the Song of the Seven. And this is a reprisal of last year's quiz when Ben's 6-year-old daughter Jess gave us some clues on some cards. This year, she is 7 years old because that's how time works.
Yeah, she achieved her goal and got through the
This
year.
changes everything.
I mean, I think anyone who remembers the clues that were given last year, they are a little bit more altogether this year.
I'm pretty sure the only one that we really got immediately was he looks important, which basically was either Stannis or Tywin.
Yeah. You didn't get the Air on Damp Hair was in his pajamas and wanted a hug.
No. Which now makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this all year.
Yeah, so this is again going to be 5 questions. You get 5 points for each one you get right. And there's going to be a little bit of a format because the way this worked is that Ben organises his cards so that he has neutrals in one folder, then Barra and Greyjoy in another, Lanny and Martell in another, Night's Watch and Stark in another, and Targ and Tyrell in another. So Jess was shown one card at random from each of those binders. So the first question is going to be a Barra or Greyjoy card.
Ooh.
And unlike last year, this isn't going to be a series of clues. I'm just going to read this entire thing out and just buzz in when you're ready. 5 points if you get it right. But you can only guess once. If you get it wrong, I'll keep reading. Go from there. So he looks like my friend Dave, but with an axe. He also Ben.
Nate the Butcher?
Close enough because I know who you mean. It's Newt the Barber.
Newt the Barber, that's the one. Yes!
Oh, come on.
Nate the Butcher, his long lost brother.
I'm impressed that you got that from just him looking like Jess's friend Dave, but with an axe.
Jess's friend Dave is my friend Dave. He's
I was thinking.
Okay.
Just
That answers
in
my
case
next
you're
question.
curious, is he looks like my friend Dave, but with an axe. He also looks like he's a miner because miners wear metal so they don't get hit by rocks.
Checks out.
The next one is going to be a Lannister or Martell card. She looks like she was a queen when she was younger, and she looks like Little Red Riding Hood without the hood.
Hodor.
Then again.
Oh crap! No, I think I got my factions wrong here. Looks like a queen when she was younger. Ariane Martell?
Nope. Anyone else want to guess? George is in there?
Shame.
Marcella Baratheon.
No. Says she looks like she was a queen when she was younger. How young would she have to be?
Oh, as like a princess being a younger queen, I was thinking.
Joe?
I'm going to go with Cersei.
Cersei is the correct and obvious answer.
Oh. I was thinking brothel madam.
See, initially when she was Queen Younger, I thought, oh, Queen, what's it?
It was the red cloak bit.
Queen of Thorns, and I was like, oh no, wait, no, wrong box.
Yeah. Okay, next one is going to be a Night's Watch or Stark card. And I think from the very start you're going to have a rough idea of what card this is going to be, but getting the exact one might be slightly trickier. We shall see.
Ooh.
The little wolf looks like a snow wolf, but is out at night. He's big as bad.
Hodor.
Yeah, yes, Ben?
I'm going with Ghost.
Ghost is correct.
Ooh.
And the full
Ben,
one was
you've been studying your card art lately.
The little wolf looks like a snow wolf, but is out at night. He's big as bad, just like the big bad wolf, but doesn't talk. His fur is lovely and white.
Aww.
Out of interest, can you tell Jessica's theme this term has been fairy tales, in particular Red Riding Hood.
That might come up again later.
Ooh.
Not necessarily Red Riding Hood, but fairy tales. And by fairy tales, I don't actually mean fairy tales, but
Okay.
we'll run with it. Next one is going to be from Targ or Tyrell. He looks like Spike from My Little Pony, but not as many spikes on him, or purple. His wings are sharp and pointy. If you touch the spikes... Yes, Ben?
I'm just gonna say Viserion.
Viserion is the correct answer.
Oh man!
I was like, it has to be a dragon. I'm like, I'm just gonna guess one of them.
All the ones to guess.
No, you knew which pony. Is Spike white? Is that where this is coming from, Ben?
Spike's the
a
dragon. Hence the dragon.
Oh, both of you know more about My Little Pony.
Hey, My Little Pony is surprisingly okay by kids' TV standards. I mean, the plot actually makes vague sense at times, unlike other kids. Oh, don't get me started, kids' TV programs.
But
The full quote there was, "He looks like Spike from My Little Pony, but not as many spikes on him or purple. His wings are sharp and pointy. If you touched the spikes on his wings, they would go through your fingers."
Ooh.
However, he looks like someone, except he's a completely different colour.
How spiky is Spike? Dragons are quite spiky.
He's not that spiky.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. No.
yes. Oh, okay.
Okay. And the last one is a neutral card. She looks like Elsa from Frozen, and a bit like Anna too. Yes, George?
Shame.
Val.
Val is the correct
Yeah,
answer.
that was
well
gonna be
done,
my
George.
guess. Yeah, well
I'm on the
George
board.
has points in this game. And the full quote there was, "She looks like Elsa from Frozen and a bit like Anna too, and her gloves remind me of number block 5.
Well, I didn't wait.
I don't know. Ben, you'll have to take this up with Jess later.
Yeah, that's a TV program she watched years ago called Number Blocks. Don't, it's awful. Do not even go Google it on YouTube or anything. Just no.
That doesn't have Ben's My Little Pony seal of approval.
No,
then.
the pony's good. It's more into Teen Titans now, though, fortunately.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
And at the end of that round, Matt is in 4th with 3 points. George is in 3rd with 5 points. But joint leaders are Ben and Joe with 20 points each.
Oh boy.
All right, now we move on to round 3, which I've called The Annals of Castle Black. And the subject of this round is going to be the Annals of Castle Black.
Is this going to get
So-
restricted halfway through, then?
I've used the website, the Annals of Castle Black, to look up the QRs, the qualification ratios for various factions and agendas.
Oh, boy.
And this is for the period of the 1st of January 2018 to the 7th of December, because that's when I did this. So for each of these, I'd like you each to guess a QR. The closest will get 2 points, second closest will get a point, and if you get it spot on, you get a bonus point. So
Okay.
good for you. So first of all, and I'm going to go in alphabetical order, so that's Ben, Joe, Jorg, Matt. So first of all is Baratheon.
Qualification percentage.
Yes.
Well, if I believe Facebook, it's 0.
0 isn't the lowest. 0 is that you have an exactly average qualification.
Oh,
This is minus 1 to 1, right?
-1 means that you are like half as likely to make
Like
the cut
go
as
lower,
anyone else.
couldn't you? Yeah,
1
exactly.
means you're twice as likely. Like theoretically, it can get very, very large or very, very small, but usually it will be between +1 and -1, and more usually between like plus 0.5 and minus 0.5.
Okay, so Baratheon, I'm going to guess 0.6?
So that's plus 0.6.
No,
your
minus 0.6. Minus.
Minus
Okay, there, that's more like it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, God. I like to be optimistic, but, you know, it is Baratheon.
guess. Joe?
Minus 0.3.
Minus 0.3. Jorg?
Minus 0.27.
Minus 0.27. I like the specificity. And Matt?
Minus 0.26.
Oh, swine.
His price is writing you. Unfortunately, he's nowhere near. The closest just about is Joe. The correct answer is minus 0.42. So,
Well, that's awful.
yeah. Joe
Man.
overestimated how good they are by 0.12. Ben underestimated it by 0.18. So Joe gets 2 points for that, and George in second gets 1. So next up will be Greyjoy.
It's
For the
it's
year.
me first answer, is it?
I guess let's keep it moving. So we'll do Joe first this time, so that everyone gets a chance to be first.
Minus 0.1.
Minus 0.1.
Brave.
George.
Plus 0.22.
0.22. Matt,
I'm gonna go straight down the middle and say 0.
0. And Ben,
+1.
+1.
Oh, 0.1, sorry, 0.1.
Plus 0.1.
Sorry.
Okay. The closest, by which I mean he's the only one that put it in the correct side of 0,
Oh.
is Joe.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the whole year. is
Yeah.
what I was
Yeah,
saying.
it is the whole year.
And Greyjoy were not in a particularly great place at the start of the year, so their QR is minus 0.19.
Oh.
So Joe was closest, then Matt.
Okay.
And now we move on to Lannister. House Lannister, starting with George.
I mean, this should be awful, right? So I'll go minus 0.39.
Minus 0.39. Matt?
Yeah, they were pretty awful, but like worse than Baratheon? Probably not. I'll do minus 0.2.
Minus 0.2. Ben?
So we've had minus 0.2.
39 and 2.
Minus 0.29.
Minus 0.29. And Joe?
What was Barra's QR?
Barra's was minus 0.42.
Minus 0.4.
Minus 0.4. And that is the closest.
Really?
Yeah, Joe's got a third one right in a row. And he's right, obviously, by 0.01 over George with his 0.39. The correct answer is minus 0.44. So even worse than Barra is Lannister. So all
What?
Barra players aren't allowed to complain ever again.
That doesn't seem right. Like Lannister Crossing was actually like good, and there was that brief month where the Queen's deck wasn't restricted.
Yeah, but keep in mind, QR gets like negatively affected if lots of players play it. See, the thing about Baratheon is everybody knows it's bad, so not a lot of people play it, and there's fewer people to bring down the QR. You know?
Barra Rose pushed the Barra QR up.
So you're saying Lannister is deceptively bad, Matt?
Yeah, but not
Barra
anymore.
is
Not anymore.
upfront about its badness.
But so Lannister's still holding on the coattails. It was 2016 and the early part of 2017. Where everyone was like,
Same
"Yeah, we're good. See, look, guys, we're all winning tournaments. See."
Baratheon's hanging onto the corset.
Right. So next up is House Martell, and starting with Matt.
Okay, so House Martell, they've had a pretty good year, so I'm gonna start the bidding at 0.15 positive.
1.5. Ben.
0.
0 exactly. Joe.
0.1.
0.1, sorry.
0.1.
Positive.
0.1. Okay, and George.
I'll take minus 0.01.
Minus 0.1. Well, this is exciting because someone has got it exactly right. Fittingly for the overall scores, it's our leader, Joe. It is 0.1. And in second place with 0.15 is Ben.
I don't know how I'm getting these right.
I'm just thinking, man, were you really swatting up going into Worlds?
We got a Rain Man over here.
Okay, next up, we've got the Night's Watch, starting with Ben again.
Minus 0.15.
Minus 0.15. Joe.
Minus 0.25.
Minus 0.25. George.
Minus 0.18.
Minus 0.18. And Matt.
They can't be as bad as Baratheon. Minus 0.3.
Minus 0.3.
Mm-hmm.
Just to check, that's 0.3, not 0.03.
No, 0.3.
0.3. Okay. And they were actually minus 0.16. So Ben was out by 1, but it's still the closest.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
second closest. So that's proof that someone other than Joe can get one of these.
I just think about. I worked out why Baratheons are better than Lannisters. It's because literally no one plays Baratheon, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look at tournament reports and it's like, wow, there's only 7 factions. Oh yeah, no Baratheon.
So no Baratheons to bring the average down.
Exactly.
Next up, we've got a faction that hasn't had that be a problem for a while. We've got House Stark.
Are they good?
Stark Joe.
0.2.
0.2. George.
This is a tricky one because the first and second halves of their year are quite different. I will go for 0.25. Positive.
0.25. Matt.
For the year, 0.3. Positive.
Positive 0.3. And Ben?
0.19.
0.19.
Well done.
You've done it the right way this time. Because Stark was 0.3 in a sense, but it was 0.03. Only just positive. You've got to remember that Stark were, as George said, bad for the first half of this year. I remember Thrones War back in February. Like, it ended up working out. The person who got Stark got them for $1, and that was still deemed to be a bad deal to the tune of like $30 or so. Like, that's how bad they were at that point in time. And it's only been this last cycle that started in July or June, I think it was, when they've got, Wyman and Mira and cards like that they've suddenly come back into prominence. But yeah. Next up, we've got one that I think it's fair to say hasn't been bad at any point this year, and that is Targaryen.
Bold statement.
George.
That's a very bold statement.
This is a sad one to be first in the order for, because it could be a lot of things.
Just get it right first off, and then that cuts off everyone else.
Bidding at positive 0.44.
Oh,
Christ.
Ooh.
that's roughly what I was going to go with.
That's like the opposite of Baratheon.
Well, yeah,
Sounds
you've
right.
seen the game, haven't you, Matt?
Matt, what are you going to go with?
I don't know. 0.44 seems like that's pretty extreme, but yeah, he might be right. But I'm gonna go with 0.3 just to kind of take that middle ground.
3. And Ben?
So sorry, for 0.44 and 0.3.
Yes.
0.35.
0.35. And Joe?
Oh, I feel like it's going to be deceptive. 0.25.
0.25. And with that, Joe is the closest. 0.24.
Oh!
George tricked us into going high.
2 more for Joe and Matt with the second best. Okay, and then the last of the faction ones, we've got a few agenda ones to follow up on, is Tyrell.
See, this is going to be really hard. They're the opposite of Stark, aren't they? They started well and then ended
But they didn't
poorly.
end very badly either.
Yeah.
They didn't end that compared to where they were at one point, though.
Yeah, they just went from like number 1 to like number 4, not from like number 1 to number 8.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Well, Matt, what are you bidding?
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna bid straight 0.
0.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ben?
0.1.
0.1. Joe?
0.35.
3.5. And George?
I'll have 0.19.
0.19. And the closest you'll never guess is Joe. The correct answer was 0.31.
Really?
They are the top faction for 2018.
They never got bad. Like, the restricted
true.
list, they were still okay.
Yeah, but
They got Randy back.
I
That is
think
true.
they have been one of the worst factions for the last 2 months, but they were just so good for the previous 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went
And by one of the worst, it's like in the bottom 5.
Yeah, I think from like a QR standpoint for the last 2 months, it's them, Barrow, and Lanny as the bottom 3. And Barra, I think, actually are above the other two for the last couple of months.
It's amazing how much that flips around. Just for a few couple of packs, how much of a difference that really does make.
It's a combination of Tyrell, like, they've had a couple of good cards in the last cycle, obviously, but nothing on the level of a Wyman or a Drogon or a Hisdar or anything like that.
Hisdar's overrated. He's not good.
So we've had. You might agree with someone later on in this quiz, then. But yeah, it's a combination of them not having the same level of great cards, and then the great cards they did have being tougher to play.
Yeah, I guess I like Queen of Thorns is really good if you get her set up. If you don't get her set up, she's meh.
Yeah, and like she's, if you're not specifically playing to exploit her, she's fine. Like you know, stealth is really, really good and everything, but like if you aren't using her for the shadows effect, then she's basically Tyrion without the 2 gold for every intrigue challenge.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. So agenda.
Yeah, it's probably the standout card of the cycle. But yeah, anyway.
Oh,
agenda.
I did. Their econ occasion's pretty good. Was the Alba Queen this cycle?
No.
That was cycle 4.
I love that card.
Yeah. So agendas. We're going to start with 3 champ agendas.
Oh.
So first of all, starting with Ben, trading with Cahor.
Oh god, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
And no, this is just trading, not alliance that includes trading, because obviously Annals can't tell what the alliance is.
So the problem with this one is, I remember first seeing the agenda and thinking, my god, what a pile of garbage. It'll be fun for playing some jank events in. And then it actually turned out it was actually quite good. This is a really tough one. I'm going to play it safe and go 0.
0. Joe?
Minus 0.25.
Minus 0.25. George?
So I feel like this agenda has been not overly played outside of Alliance and has had some notable successes. I am tempted to go something like 0.06.
06. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't want to thread the needle, so I'll just take all of the negatives. Negative 0.01.
0.01. Well, by virtue of being the only one to go positive, George is the closest.
Hell yes.
And by virtue of not going negative, Ben is second closest.
Yeah. Glass half full, everyone.
The correct answer is plus 0.2.
Really?
I think, because as George said, like, it wasn't a deck that you saw a lot in the field. Like, it mostly was very specialist decks that performed quite well. So the small sample size sort of played into its hands, whereas some of the more obviously good agendas, a lot of people played sort of tank their score. So next champion agenda is the Wars to Come. And this is starting with Joe.
0.3.
0.3. Okay, George?
I mean, this could be anything. This was everywhere since sort of that summer period. I will say 0.05.
0.05. Okay, Matt?
0.04. I'm going to take everything under George.
0.04. And Ben?
0.2.
0.2. And the closest there is Ben. It was plus 0.1. Sorry, 0.19 even to give the full thing. It was played everywhere, but there was a reason why it was played everywhere. And it's because even with, well, obviously, the more these agendas are played, the more likely they're going to tend towards 0 on these numbers.
Yeah.
Because if literally 100% of the field plays this agenda, then it gets 0 guaranteed.
And I guess you're seeing tournaments with like 60-70% wars.
Yeah, so you'd think it would be a close to 0 value, but it's still that high. It was just so popular. And I think since its restriction, its QR might even be better, just because now it's only decks that really want to use it and leverage it that are playing it. So you're seeing a lot of Greyjoy wars and a lot of Martell wars with Doran's game, and those decks have been doing quite well the last couple of months. And so the last of the 3 champion agendas, we've got the House with the Red Door. And this is starting with George.
Wow, this Marine is the one that's had the most obvious success. I'll take minus 0.05.
Ooh.
Minus 0.05. Okay, Matt?
Oh, I was going to go negative as well. Negative 0.1. There were a lot of crappy Greyjoy decks at the beginning.
Ben?
I'm gonna go 0 then.
0.
'Cause
Okay. And Joe?
Then I'll go 0.01.
Oh, you're awful.
0.1.
Positive.
You're awful.
I don't
That
think
would
it
have been a
is.
good strategy if it wasn't for the fact that it had a negative QR.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It was actually lower than any of you guessed. It was minus 0.15.
really?
But the closest there is Matt, with George in second.
All right.
See,
Yeah, I guess it's one of those agendas that appeals to people that want to build, like, sort of more for fun.
I guess, but I thought you might see like people with like the Drowned God, and obviously you've got Marine now, and I've seen some other.
Don't
ones.
forget, there's a lot of weird Exodia decks dragging that down.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, like remember at the beginning when it was all like Greyjoy, Great Kraken, and then you had like Baratheon, Red Keep, and Lannister, Casterly Rock. That just like
But
drug
I don't
everything
think
down.
these ever happened. Great Kraken eventually did, but like Red Keep and Casterly Rock weren't that big.
I keep losing to Baratheon Blackwater Bay.
That too.
Yeah.
The one
Dragonstone Castle.
The one time I beaten that recently, I was on a stream. I was playing Lannister Greenside, and the guy didn't seem to realise I was on pillage for the first 2 turns and drew. I'm like, sure, please do. Then he realised when I milled about 10 cards in a turn.
Yeah, Red Door Blackwater Bay has a bad record against pillage, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got 3 more agendas. These are non-champ card agendas. And then you'll be pleased to know we're out of QR-based questions after that.
Yay.
So first of all, we've got probably, other than wars, I guess, the agenda of the year. We have got the Lord of the Crossing. So Matt, what do we think for the Lord?
Ooh, Lord of the Crossing. Yeah, that's an interesting one because it's kind of made a comeback this year, but at the same time, first half of the year is just kind of ignored. But it like never went away. I'm just gonna go 0.05.
0.05. Okay, Ben.
0.
0. Joe.
Minus 0.05.
Minus 0.
Well,
Okay.
That sort of equivocating surprises me. I think Crossing had a sensational year. 0.2.
there's a lot of people play bad crossing decks.
Yeah, it like never goes away.
Yeah.
This is one of those ones where I think, especially the fact that it's quite a popular agenda for newer players, maybe hurts it as well. Because someone has got this exactly right, and that person is Matt with 0.05. Came right out of the gates and got it bang on before anyone else got to guess. And then Ben in second for putting 0. Which has been quite a winning strategy for you in this, hasn't it, Ben?
Well, if in doubt, just go for the middle. Because I say there's just because lots of good people play a certain deck, then obviously people who aren't so good at the decks tend to pick them up. That's the way I look at it.
That's... Okay. Next up, we have Banner of the Kraken.
Oh, really?
Oh.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's an interesting one. And what do you think it got, Ben?
Oh my god, I've not got the foggiest. Who's banning to the Kraken this year?
Some people.
I mean, they get like Banner Wolf, but Banner Kraken. 0. Sod it. Go for my strategy. If in doubt,
Okay,
go
go.
for the mean.
Is it on me now?
It's on Joe.
Oh, I didn't hear anything. Hell, minus 0.5.
Minus 0.5. Okay.
Here comes someone
Sure.
with still comes someone with like 0.05, and thanks guys.
So I'm trying to think of like a handful of decks that I know have run Banner Kraken. I know there are some Barra decks at Thrones War. And there's a Stark Kraken that has been pretty okay.
Was Tar Kraken this year? Still?
Don't think so. Tyrell
No.
Kraken when it's been played, has done okay. I'll try a cheeky 0.01.
0.01.
Kinky 0.01, I like it.
Okay, and Matt?
I'm thinking it's negative, but not as negative as Joe thinks. I'll go negative 0.1.
Okay. You should have thought more negative than Joe thought. The reason I picked Banner of the Kraken is because it had the worst record of any agenda this year.
Wow.
Yeah, that was what I was betting.
I was starting to think
That's why it was included.
Yeah, I was about to going down the same thing. Like, this must either be the best or the worst.
Yeah, it was the worst.
I think I know what was going on. It was all those times I brought Baratheon Kraken to GNKs. I just drug it down.
Well, in that case, you helped contribute to it having a QR of minus 0.84.
Oh!
And then we're going to round it out with what I'm reliably told by Ben is the most fun agenda to have a mirror match with, the Faith Militant.
15 turns, man.
And we're starting with Joe.
I feel like barely anyone played it, but a few people who did managed to cut with it. But still feeling pretty negative, so I'm going to go minus 0.2.
Minus 0.2. George?
I was thinking exactly the same as Joe until he said minus 0.2. I will take. Just to annoy Ben, I'm just going to go 0.
Good man. That's good strategy.
That was my strategy.
Ben,
All right, I'll take 0.1 then.
Plus 0.1.
Yes.
Okay. And Ben?
I'm going to go plus 0.11.
0.1. And the only person who got remotely close there is Joe, because it was minus 0.37. I can't remember why past me chose the Faith Militant as one of the ones for this, but I did. So there we are. And that is the end of the QRing. It's not the end of the round, though, because I've got some in fact, it's not the end of the QRing, it's the end of the guess the QRing, so there's a couple more that are to-do QRs.
Oh, dear.
So this is a nice, simple one compared to that previous section. This is back on the buzzers. 3 factions have managed positive QRs with the fealty agenda. What are they?
Hodor.
Ben.
Stark, Targ, and Greyjoy.
Stark and Targ are correct, so you get a point for that, but you do not get the full points because the third one is not Greyjoy. Does anyone want to try and guess the third one for a point? George wants to try and guess it.
I'll try Night's Watch.
Running out of options for Joe and Matt.
Oh, I can't think of any other factions.
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
Matt?
Oh, Baratheon.
No.
Nice try, Matt.
God.
I think I've got.
Which father of the four?
I think I've got it now, but even before Matt said, he said.
I've gone blank.
So we've now, between the group of you, you've guessed 5 of the 8 factions. So you've only got 3 left to pick from.
Yeah, but I can't remember what ones they are. So what's been you said Stark, Targ, Greyjoy, Barra, and Night's Watch. Which means there's Lannister, there's 2 other factions I can't remember.
Tyrell and Martell.
What was the second one you said?
Tyrell Martell.
Martell.
Martell would be my guess.
Martell is the correct answer.
I'm glad we got that.
I was thinking Baratheon fealty never goes away.
It doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's good, but it never goes away.
What this sounds like to me is the Martell intro deck must be quite good.
I still can't believe we're talking about Fealty in 2018.
Yeah.
Hey, +1 gold a turn.
I remember all this podcast. Oh, we'll see Fealty disappear once more agendas come out. Yeah.
Well, it did
It goes
until
away,
Wars
then
to Come got restricted.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
It's when they release Econ. They go, here's a 2 gold Econ.
yeah,
Can reduce.
yeah, it's true.
Right. So, next up, this is going to be all close to Matt's heart, I think.
Oh, dear.
Baratheon has a positive QR with 6 agendas. Once you buzz, you have to take up to 7 guesses. You get a point for each one you get right and lose a
For the
point
night
for
is
each one you
dark
get wrong.
and
And of
full of
course,
terrors.
Matt has buzzed.
All right, here we go.
So you're allowed up to 7 guesses.
to 7 guesses.
For each one that you get that's correct, you get a point. For each one you get that's wrong, you lose a point.
Wolf.
Wolf is one, yeah.
Rose?
Rose is not. So you've got 5 guesses left and your points neutral.
Oh, not Rose. Dragon?
Yep, Dragon is one.
The Wars to Come?
Nope. So you're back to 0 again with 3 guesses.
Oh, I'm on 0 points. Okay, so I've got 3 guesses left. Lion.
Lion is correct.
Okay. Okay. What's left? What's left?
Quite a lot, Matt, actually.
Yeah. I'm looking for positive QRs. Positive QRs. Summer?
Summer is correct. So you're at +2 points. You got 1 guess remaining and 2 correct answers and about 15 wrong ones.
Can I just call it there? And just...
You can do. Yeah.
All
you
right,
can take your +2.
I'll take my +2.
Okay.
Positive.
I won't bother doing a buzz for the last 2, but if anyone wants to guess for fun, feel free.
Alliance.
Alliance is not correct.
Red Door?
Oh.
Nope.
Faith Militant.
Nope.
Green Sight.
Nope.
The Lord of the
from the
Crossing.
Shadows.
Nope and nope. Assault from the Shadows, I don't know if it is now, but at the time I generated these questions, Assault still wasn't on Jousting Pavilion.
Cohort?
0 data
The
for
Free
it.
Folk.
The Free Folk is one of them.
Oh, of course it is. Baratheon Free Folk.
And the last one is Kings of Winter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's no synergy there.
I know.
Only
You get
one
to play-
person has to play it and win.
That is true.
You get to play Withering Cold.
So I'm now kind of metaing for next year's. I'm wanting to take some really obscure decks to local J&Ks, win them. So like,
Just to stack the stats.
yeah, you never guess what's came
Although-
from Baratheon. Green Sight, wasn't it?
The outside bet here would have been Baratheon, the Reigns of Castamere, because it seems that anyone who like does like a Keyforge tournament just fills everyone in as Baratheon, the Reigns of Castamere.
Is that because that's the first option for both
Yeah, probably.
categories? Okay, last question of the round. And this one does not involve QR. There have been 917 tournaments in the year 2018 between January and the 7th of December. Of those 917 tournaments, which faction has won the most? Ben.
Targaryen.
Targaryen is the correct answer. And now this one isn't on the buzzer. Of those 917 tournaments, how many do you think Targaryen have won? You're each going to get a guess, starting with Ben.
200?
200. Okay. Joe?
150.
150. George?
230.
230. And Matt?
250.
250. And the closest is Ben. The correct answer is 192.
Bloody hell. Out of 100.
Which is 21% of the tournament.
So,
And that is the end of the Annals of Castle Blackround.
out of interest, what's Baratheon's win percentage?
6%.
I did not make a note of that, but yeah, I think it's about 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, higher than I thought it'd be.
I mean, in theory, each faction should be on average 12.5%, right?
Yeah.
So 6 is quite low.
Yeah. It is,
Okay,
it is quite.
so
But I remember when I was at the first year when Night's Watch and Tyrell were both below 4.
Yeah.
that's fine. At the end of round 3, we have George and Matt continuing to bring up the rear. They're both on 13 points. Then in second, we've got Ben on 32 points. And in first place, we've got Joe with 40 points.
Oh,
Ooh.
boy.
I think I've realised what one of the rounds might be now, and I'm wondering if it's the same one George fought.
Uh-oh.
We shall see.
What card should... Just a predicting one. Guess what should be restricted? Because his star's name is mentioned. And then we said Matt rant about Flea Bottom for about...
Guys, this is the new me. This is the modern me. You know, I don't do that anymore, guys.
Are you going to
He's gone clean, Ben.
Are you not going to play the Night's Watch Flea Bottom either?
This next round is going to be about our deluxes. So this year we've had 2 deluxe boxes released, especially if you're not American. Sands of Dawn and the King of the Isles. So round 4 is going to be called Well, I'll Be Dawned.
God.
Oh,
Goodness.
What a puntastic Christmas quiz this is.
Wow. Wow.
So, King of the Isles has a lot of cards, or I say a lot, it's got some cards that include the Greyjoy house sigil in their artwork. But how many cards in that box contain the Kraken sigil?
Well, actually in the art?
Yes.
Can I double check?
The little faction affiliate.
Is this buzzers or bidding?
Can I get a clarification
buzzing.
before we start?
This is buzzing. Oh.
What did you say, Joe? Sorry?
Can I get a clarification?
Sure.
Does it count if there's more than one?
I'm asking for the number of cards, not the number of Kraken
sigils.
I'll just double check.
And I'm guessing the little Kraken symbol on the right, like halfway up the right side doesn't count.
Yeah, not the affiliation, just the actual artwork itself.
Okay. Are we buzzing in? Or are we... Okay.
Yes, George is buzzing in fact.
I'll take 8.
8 is not correct. Anyone else want to buzz? Joe wants to buzz.
4.
4 is not correct.
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
Matt?
10.
10 is not correct. So Ben, guess a number that is not 4, 8 or 10.
That's the kind of thing everyone else go. 4, 8 and 10. So I'm trying to think what you got. You got the We Take Westeros has got a few. Quite a few.
We Take Westeros, I can confirm, has 5 just on that cover.
I just remember looking at the art going, man, what poor bastard to paint those on. 4, 8, 10.
What I like about that card as well is that the different Krakens on the boats look different.
Yeah.
Like they've not just sort of taken, this is what the sigil looks like.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes it look like whoever the sailor is has done their own job of doing the Kraken.
7.
7 is 1 out. The answer is 6.
Okay.
Oh,
They are on Asher Greyjoy, Air on Damp Hair, Silence, Golden Storm, Scouting Vessel, and as we said, We Take Westeros.
Which is a fantastic plot.
It is. It's a ridiculous plot.
It is a ridiculous. Remember Euron Greyjoy? He was pretty good. Wow. How about you don't even have to win a challenge?
All right. So we had 6 cards with Krakens on in the King of the Isles box. By contrast, in the Sands of Dawn box, there are only 2 cards that feature Martell's sigil of the Sun and the Spear. If you can name one, you get 3 points. If you can name both, you get 5 points.
Terrors.
To the spears, and then I'll pass.
To the Spears is 1. Okay, you get 3 points for that. Does anyone want to have a guess on what the other one is?
There's negative points to get this wrong, right?
No, just you're out of the being able to answer it. George?
Shame.
is it at Prince Doran's behest?
It is not at Prince Doran's
That was
behest.
going to be my guess.
What is it?
Hodor.
Is it the Red Viper?
Nope.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, in the interest of limiting radio silence, I'm going to give you 5 seconds.
No, I don't know.
I have a guess.
Yeah?
Sir Garrus Drinkwater.
He is not in the box.
Good thing you passed.
Yeah. He is one of Garrus's travelling companions. It is Maester Kedry, who I think went to Dawn University because he's just got their logo in big, bold emblazoned on his front of his jumper.
That card is, the art's pretty old.
It is. And I've got a fun fact for you about the Sands of Dawn box and the Martell sigil. Having just talked about the Greyjoy sigil, there are more instances of the Greyjoy sigil in the artwork than there are of the Martell one. Because Fleet from Pike has 1 instance of it and Plundered has 2 instances of it. So there are 3 Krakens in the artwork, but only 2 Sun and Spear in the Martell box.
Wow. They're very loyal down there.
We've got a couple more on artwork. So the next one, The Wars to Come, is the agenda released in the Sands of Dawn box, and it depicts some Savas or Kavas, how you prefer to pronounce it, pieces. But what are those pieces? There are 3 pieces on the card. Matt?
Oh, I can only remember 2 of them. The
You'll get
King
3
and the
points.
Dragon.
The King and the Dragon are 2 of them.
And then I'll pass.
George?
Shame.
There's a horse.
I think you'll find that is a particularly fancy horse, and we call it a dragon.
The horses of the air.
Oh.
Dracarys.
Joe?
Is it like a maid?
It is not a maid, no.
Hodor.
I was going to guess. A soldier.
You're the closest, but I need you to be specific about the soldier.
Oh, guard? Spearman?
No,
Spearman?
it is a spearman.
Spearman.
Yeah, there are multiple different types of soldier pieces, but spearman is the one depicted on the artwork. Then we've got another two-part question about the artwork of an agenda. Sea of Blood is the King of the Isles agenda, and the artwork depicts a boat being attacked by a kraken.
Hodor.
Yes, Ben.
I was going to say it's a kraken. Okay, sorry.
I won't count that, Buzz. So, my first question is, you can get 3 points if you can name how many tentacles there are in the artwork.
Hodor.
4.
Ben. More than 4.
Dracarys.
Joe.
5.
More than 5.
Shame.
George.
Like 7.
7 is the correct answer.
Oh, good job, George. Yeah.
And then the second part of the question, you get 3 points if you can tell me what trait that agenda has.
Hodor.
Ben.
Oh, God, I know this. Is it... Crap. Edict?
It is not an edict, no.
Shame.
George has buzzed, sorry, George.
It's prophecy.
It is
Yes,
prophecy.
it is.
Oh, well
Of course it
done.
is. I knew it's the same as an agenda. Plot, sorry.
Okay, now we're going to do a round the table thing here. Across the 2 deluxe boxes, there are 14 characters that already had a version of themselves in the card pool that got another version. So we're going to start with George, and you're each going to name a character. You get a point for each one you get right, but you name one at a time. If you get one wrong or repeat an answer that's already been given or just take too long to answer, then you're out of the round. And it will continue until either everyone's eliminated or all the characters are named.
Okay, starting with me, you said. Okay.
Yes, starting with you.
Doran Martell.
Doran Martell is a correct answer. Matt.
The Red Viper.
The correct answer. Ben.
Balon Greyjoy.
Balon Greyjoy is a correct answer. Joe.
Euron.
Euron is a correct answer. George.
Asher Greyjoy.
Asher Greyjoy is a correct answer. Matt.
Oh, what was her name? What was her name? What was her name? What was her name? Ah, dang it. Abarasand.
Abarasand is a correct answer. Ben.
Nymeria Sand.
Nymeria Sand is a correct answer. Joe.
Tyene Sand.
Also a correct answer.
Aaron Damphair.
Aaron Damphair is a correct answer.
Yeah, it's up to me now, isn't it?
Yep.
Who am I forgetting here?
The 5
Fit
that are remaining.
Fit Balon, we've had Euron, we've had Asha. Who else was in there? There was no Victorian, so let's go back to Martell. Am I missing? Who am I missing? Who am I missing?
Tick tock, tick tock.
There wasn't a... Oh, what was her name? Oh, the Paramore. What's her name? What was her name? Oh, the Paramore. Ilaria Sand.
Ilaria Sand is the correct answer.
Ah.
Okay. There are 4 remaining, and I'm going to set 10-second time limits on them now. Ben?
Darkstar.
Darkstar is correct. George?
Me?
Yeah.
Arya Hotar.
Arya Hotar is correct.
Quentin Martell.
Is correct. There's 1 remaining, Matt.
Oh, man. It's all down to me. Okay. We've got Dorn. We've got... It's probably one of the cheap ones. Or it's a trick question, and it's one of like the neutrals or something. No, it's not one of the neutrals. Okay.
4, 3.
Pass.
Ben?
Have we had...
4.
What's the name? Have we had a...
1.
Abela Martand, whatever her name is?
Bella is not
No,
the correct
it isn't.
answer. All right.
Cool, okay.
Joe? 10, 9. 4, 3, 2, 1. Timed out. And George.
I've worked it out. It's Marcella Baratheon.
It is Marcella.
Oh, God.
Well done.
Oh.
Well done.
First Lannister version of Marcella Baratheon, but there is already a Martell one.
Of course.
Done. Yeah.
And then the last question of the round. You need to get both parts of this right to get 5 points. If you get only one part of it right but get the other part wrong, you lose 5 points.
Okay, so this is a buzzer question?
Yes, this is a buzzer, but buzz when you know the full answer, not half of it. Across the 14 plots in both deluxe boxes, which is the first alphabetically and which is the last alphabetically?
Dracarys.
Joe.
At Prince Doran's behest, and we take Westeros.
Is the correct answer.
Oh, well done.
I had to double check whether V was before W in my head.
That's what I was doing.
I like that because Martell had the first one and Greyjoy had the last one.
Yeah.
The opposite of their preferred order of getting to do their marshalling and challenges. And that is the end of Well, I'll Be Dawned. At the end of that round, Joe has extended his lead out to 48. Ben is on 35. George and Matt are continuing to catch up, with George slightly pulling ahead 24 to 22. So congratulations, George. You now have half of what Joe has.
Sweet.
Okay. On to round 5, and this is the second of the returning rounds from last year. This is He Calls It Thinking. Can you recognise these cards from a quote from their AGOT Cards pack review?
Yeah, this is the one I was expecting to
This is
happen.
great. Yeah, I forgot about this. This was awesome.
I forgot it was one last year.
Yeah. So you'll get 2 points per correct answer. And the way I've structured this is there's going to be 10 cards in this round. And I've done 1 per chapter pack release for the last 10 chapter packs. So we're going to start with the Kingsmoot card and then go all the way up to the Daggers in the Dark card. Okay, so we're going to start with that Kingsmoot card, and the quote is, "Not even in Brotherhood. Why would I want a blank 3 gold character? Give me Hedge Knight any day of the week. 1 out of 5.
Shame.
Oh, I'm going to say Lemon Cloak, but it's not him, is it?
It is Lemon Cloak.
Oh, all right.
Oh, good job.
That's
Lemon
quite a harsh
Cloak,
thing. I thought
as
it was, and I was
reviewed
like,
by Scantrell.
Not even in Brotherhood.
Not even in Brotherhood. Give him Hedge Knight any day of the week.
But
You gotta be kidding me.
he's really good in Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Especially Baratheon Brotherhood.
I think he read it wrong.
I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the ones I've chosen are possibly ones that haven't aged too well.
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, I even run Lemon Cloak in just like Baratheon Fealty even, because you don't always have Robert on the board. You know, you need power icons. And he's got the Warlord trait.
Okay, next up, the card from Favour of the Old Gods. Seems like Lannister really likes gold in the challenges phase, and this adds fuel to the fire. George?
Shame.
Sweet Cersei.
Sweet Cersei is correct.
All right.
This is where George is going to get like plow ahead.
The full
Go
quote
where you
there
go.
was, seems like Lannister really likes gold in the challenges phase, and this adds fuel to the fire. I would easily pay 2 gold for this location in a Lanny Brains deck. The gold stays during taxation as well. Not much more to say. 1x minimum forever. 5 out of 5. That is Sweet Cersei as described by Sir Joke.
Wow. I hope he was joking.
So next up we've got a card from the Faith Militant. And it is, I can't proclaim to be a Drowned God deck aficionado myself.
Hodor.
Ben?
Well, I'm guessing that's going to be, what's his name? Freeze? Thrice Drowned?
Tal the Thrice Drowned is the correct answer.
Let's hear this review.
Yeah.
This is Scantrell again. I can't proclaim to be a Drowned God deck aficionado myself, but even with this card, the passive power gain engine still feels too expensive and too complex on paper. 3.5 out of 5.
Scantrell, I'm not getting. There's not a second Scantrell. He's the guy who does make some pretty good decks for like generic kind of starting points. The ones I post like a deck like every day, right?
Yeah. He's a great servant to the community. I mean, he runs the pack reviews.
He knows his stuff.
He just also occasionally gives weird ratings.
Apparently, he needs to play with the cards first, but that's fine.
No, why'd you play? No, you can definitely do reviews for playing with the cards.
There's a couple more of him in this, and it's not meant as a slight at him at all. He just provided good material.
Is this because also he
Scantrell.
reviews almost every card on Strange CB?
I mean, who knows? Who can say? So next up, we've got the last chapter pack of Cycle 4. This is from Someone Always Tells. I remember this effect from first edition. Granted, it was on a plot card. It was still good enough. Joe?
No, I got it too early.
Granted, it was on a plot card. It was still good enough to get restricted.
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
Someone always tells?
No.
Oh.
Already consuming flames. Ben?
Damn, I was going to say Driftwood.
Nope.
Then he said,
So
consuming flames. I was like, oh no, that doesn't sound right.
So George can hear the full thing.
Oh,
Already, Consuming Flames, Plaza of Pride, and Quotho are easy additions to any Targ deck. This allows a Targ player to not think too hard about how many cards they want to spend to push tempo. 5 out of 5.
Goodness me.
I know what it is now.
What on earth was in that pack for Targ?
Damn,
It must have been awful. I've forgotten about it completely.
Oh, I wish I listened. I love this. I love this card. I think this card's great.
Oh my god, that's how bad it is, guys.
Oh,
Matt likes it.
it's this dumb card, isn't it? I know what it is.
Is this overthrowing the Masters?
No, it's not. Anyone else want to guess for no point?
Yes. To go forward, you must go back.
It is to go forward.
I love that card. It's, you know.
As reviewed by Jesse S.
Which one's go forward? Go forward, you must go back?
It's where you shuffle, where like both players can shuffle their hands into their deck and then redraw 5 cards. It's like Magic's Wheel of Fortune, but in a Targaryen card.
Oh, okay. That sounds alright.
Yeah. It's good, except it's a 2-dog dominance action, and dominance events are always like nowhere near as good as they look.
No. So sorry, I thought it was like a challenge action. I'm like, you just used Marine. Take this.
Hey, keep in mind, you can like dump a card to Hisdar to make that cost 0. You know.
Yeah, but at that point you've already got 3 cards in your hand, because you have to have 1 left in your hand after you play the event.
Yeah, so you have like 2, and then you. Oh, right. You gotta
I think Hisdar also doesn't actually reduce events unless they come out through shadows.
Oh, he doesn't?
Targ Assault.
Yeah,
Targ Assault to shuffle your deck.
Tells you how much I've been playing this card, even though I love it.
All right, on to the Shadow Cycle. And we're starting with the Shadow City. Any deck looking for particular pieces is far better sticking with coppers or going for summons or building orders instead. George?
Shame. Exchange of information.
It is exchange of information, and that was Von Wibble giving it 2.5 out of 5.
Oh, Stephen.
Again, play with the cards, people.
Well, granted,
that's the point. It's meant to be first flush reviews. So you can
granted, in some decks, like it's actually not that great, and then you also have to like time it right. Like I've been finding out that like if you play exchange of informations after like turn 2, it doesn't give you a whole lot.
I mean, he's right that it's not a combo builder.
Yeah,
it just is better than 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's definitely you definitely got to play it early because those people just go. You're going to get dead character or something you don't need or whatever. But,
like a limited location or something.
But it's not. It's still pretty good.
With that one, I looked at. I was looking through the article and I saw his score, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be good." And he didn't really have a good he's completely wrong about this quote, because I think the quote is quite reasonable. It's just the score that's off.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Next up, we got the March on Winterfell. The King trait saves him from binder fodder status. Ben?
Got to be Hisdar.
It is Hisdar. That's giving Hisdar Zolarak 3 out of 5.
Oh,
wow.
boy.
King trait saves him from binder fodder. Wow. What's the card that everyone wants restricted right now?
What?
The other card that everyone wants restricted right now.
Loads of different cards. Okay. Next up, from the streets of King's Landing. This game does not need more stand effects. Luckily, this won't see play outside of Voltron decks. Yes,
Queensguard?
Queensguard is the correct answer. That was Hybrid 92, aka Adam Kolar, giving it 2 out of 5.
I sense some Baratheon venom in that rating.
just also out of interest, can you tell when I kind of got back into the game, I was mostly playing Baratheon. Targ, sorry. Played a lot of Targ.
Okay, now we're on to Music of Dragons. Wildlings still aren't that good. Even if they were, it's a tough... Yes, Ben?
Free folk agenda?
The free folk agenda is the correct answer. The full one there was... Wildlings aren't that good. Even if they were, it's a tough sell to say this is better than just using the Brotherhood agenda. 3.5 out of 5. And that's the free folk as described by the Quill and Tankard curmudgeons.
So I exposed Dave today to the first time to free folk because I kind of shouted him from them a little bit. And when he valid on turn 2, thinking, haha, I've got you now because you've wiped my board, and I proceeded to wipe his hand on turn 2.
Wow.
Leaving him, and then I did political disaster the turn afterwards. So he had no econ, no cards, and no characters. He went, yeah, this is not bad, is it?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's all right.
I will point out, even though I used our quote because saying that we weren't sure it was better than the Brotherhood agenda was just us being stupid. For the sake of not being self-deprecating in any way, I want to point out that we did still give it the joint highest score of the review with 3.5. It was a really underrated agenda, that.
Yeah.
For about 2 days.
Yeah, once you play your first game and then you reread it and you realize, oh!
Until someone went, guys, you know there's more than 7 2 claim plots, right?
Yeah.
And it's even better now Greyjoy box is out in Europe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's my new opener.
Yeah. Vanquish plus Wildling, what's it called? The mid-range Wildling.
Oh, the one you ambush in.
Yeah.
I think he's really good.
Rogue Wildling.
Yeah.
Rogue Wildling, yeah. I don't even know if you bother ambushing him in. He's just a power icon on a Wildling.
He actually makes Val slightly better.
Yeah, I've ambushed him a few times. I've also lost the Giants to him in.
Yeah, I think that's a really good play.
Yeah, there's a few times I've got 5 gold. I don't see a point putting a character down. I'm either just stand rattle shirt.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, I'd rather have this 5 gold to put a second rattle shirt down, please. Yeah, no, he's really good.
All right. We're on to the last Scantrail review of this round. One more after this, but the last one from Scantrail. This is from Indaznak's Pit. Cheap, repeatable, flexible, and it really doesn't take Martell long to have 4+ used block cards. In an icon control deck, yeah, he's worth 1x. Yes, George?
Shame.
It's Maester Miles.
It's Maester Miles. Scantrail giving him 3 out of 5.
What's Maester Miles do? I can't remember the card.
Don't worry about it.
It's really not worth taking up space in your brain with.
Wasn't he a guy who, if you lose a challenge, you cause somebody to lose an icon? Or
No, I think he's just kneel to remove an icon of a character of cost X or lower, where X is the number of used plot cards.
Okay.
it's just like blah 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 blah, and this, and this, and if that, and if that. Sounds like a Baratheon card.
I'm literally playing Maesters right at the moment, a Conclave, and I've done a video with Dave Bamford on Maesters, and I didn't remember him coming up. So
No, I'm not surprised. And then the last one, so this is from Daggers in the Dark. It's the most recent chapter pack. Crap Ario Hotar is just about the best description for this card. 1.5 out of 5.
Dracarys.
Joe buzzes.
Shrewd Diplomat.
Shrewd Diplomat is the correct answer. And with that, Joe has got some points from the round.
Hey.
That hasn't done, but until then it was only Ben and George that were scoring. That was 1.5 out of 5 as reviewed by Hybrid 29. 92. Or 29. I've written 92 once, 29 once. I don't know. It's Adam Kolar. Okay, leave me alone. So at the end of that round, now everyone is starting to space out a little bit after that, because we got Matt in 4th with 22 points, George in 3rd with 32 points, Ben in 2nd with 43, and Joe in 1st with 50. So we're on to round 6. And round 6 was suggested to me by Dan Mulcrone, and it is Words Are Wind. I'm going to read out a card's flavor text, and you've got to identify that card. 2 points for the correct answer. Okay. And there's going to be 1 neutral. In fact, there's going to be 2 neutral, and then 1 from each faction.
And this is just from this year?
I believe they're all from this year, or at the very least, they're all from close to this year.
Okay.
I think all of these are this year. I can't guarantee it because I can't be asked to check. So first of all, the Green Seers were more than that. They could wear the skins of any beast that flies, George.
Shame.
Is this Varamir's Sixskins?
No.
Oh, that's my guess. Okay.
They could wear the skins of any beast that flies or swims or crawls, and could look through the eyes of the weirwoods as well, and see the truth that lies beneath the world.
It's a lot of flavor text.
Oh, no, I know it is. Crap.
Dracarys.
Joe.
Is it Green Sight?
It is Green Sight.
Oh, they...
Guess your agenda.
Oh, agendas have flavor text? Oh, I didn't
I can do, yeah.
I now realise how stupid I was for suggesting there was room on the Varamir card for more text.
To be fair, when you buzzed, there might have been room for that text. There just definitely wasn't. Okay, next up. Some say that herons are majestic if your king eats frogs while standing on one leg.
Yep.
Silence. Some say herons are majestic, so the kings eat frogs while standing on one leg.
Hodor.
I don't know what's come to my mind. The Misty Morn?
Nope.
I'm just literally guessing at a card.
Anyone have any thoughts, or should I reveal it?
I've got nothing.
No.
Yeah. It is Old Bilbone.
Oh, really?
Fair enough.
Okay.
I just thought it was a good quote.
Yeah, it is. Just not putting the words to the art.
Yeah. And on the subject of good quotes, is it the justice of your cause you doubt, my lord, or the strength of your arm? Are you afraid I'll piss on your burning sword and put it out?
Dracarys.
Joe.
Oh, well, I'm going to go with Beric Dondarrion because that's what I thought. That's probably wrong.
It is very probably wrong.
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
Matt.
Sir Courtney Penrose.
So Courtney Penrose is the correct answer. Of course, you get the barrel one.
Yeah.
Next up. In the name of the drowned god, I summon you. George.
Shame.
Aaron Damphair.
No. He's the one that said that, but it's not his fault.
What's the name?
Ben.
What's the name of the event where you bring characters back from the dead? Crap.
That is the question.
That is the question. That literally is the question. God, what is it? It's like One Among Us or something. Oh, bum.
I don't think it's Bomb.
Okay, I'm gonna go. It's Rise to Bum or Bumness.
For the night is dark
that's
and full of
definitely
terrors.
No, I've forgotten.
It's not the correct answer, I'm afraid, and Matt buzzed afterwards.
Now I'm starting to have second thoughts, but I'm gonna go with Dragonbinder.
Dracarys.
No. George? Sorry, not George, Joe?
No.
I was going to say Given to the Drowned God.
It is not Given to the Drowned God, which is the one you were trying to remember the name of. You were right to be thinking of a dominance event, though.
It's
What is
just
Dead May Never Die?
Yeah, what is Dead May Never Die?
No, it is. So the flavor text is, in the name of the drowned god, I summon you. But what are they being summoned to? They are being summoned to the King's Moot.
Oh. Damn Greyjoy and all their summoning.
Yeah. So next up, we've got, and a man. I'll try that again. And a mind needs books, as a sword needs a whetstone.
Dracarys.
It is to keep its edge. Joe.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Why did I buzz so quick? What was it? Oh, it's that bloody Lanny event, I feel like, which I can't remember. I can't remember the name of it, but pass.
Okay, George.
My mind is my weapon.
It is indeed your weapon.
Well
That's
done.
the one. Ugh.
Okay. Next up. My father is very good at doing nothing.
Shame.
George.
He calls it thinking.
He does call it thinking. So for this next one, the character refers to themselves in the third person in the quote, but I quite like the quote. So to stop it being too easy, I've changed it to first person. But if you want an extra clue, they're the sort of person pompous enough to refer to themselves in the third person. I will not go meekly off to freeze and die. No traitors. Oh, yeah, Ben.
Sir Janos Slint.
Sir Janos Slint, well, not Sir Janos
sorry,
Slint, just
Janos
Janos
Slint,
Slint.
He's a sir in
Yeah.
my heart.
I will not go meekly off to freeze and die. No traitors bastard give commands to Janos Slint is the original, the original one.
I will be honest.
Lord Bolton.
I will be honest.
Oh,
By
sorry.
you telling me that his name was in the quote was what I actually.
Yeah, there aren't a whole lot of characters left.
No. I remembered. So I remember reading it, going, "Oh, he talks about himself." Okay, that's literally. That's sorry. Go on.
Right. Lord Bolton. He used to say a naked man has few secrets, but a flayed man's got none.
Hodor.
Ben.
Wyman Manderley.
No.
Shame.
George.
The bastard's letter?
No. Down to Joe and Matt. Who wants to guess?
Dracarys.
Joe wants to guess.
I'll go with the Dreadful.
No. Matt?
Skagos.
No. You've all danced around the obvious, and the obvious was the correct one. It's just Ramsay Bolton.
Just Ramsay.
Oh, that's right. He was this year.
The banter guy.
Yeah.
Just Bants.
Next
Ben,
up,
we talked about this. He is a bad man.
Just Bants, mate. Oh, cock your penis. Woo. Yeah, got you. You didn't see that coming, did you? Oh, Bants.
And next up, we've got a haunting ballad of two dying lovers amidst the doom of Valyria. Might
For
have
the
pleased
night is
the whole
dark
war.
and full of
Matt?
terrors.
A Dance with Dragons?
Dance of the Dragons, I'll give you that. That's close enough.
Yeah.
It might have pleased the whole moor if Colio had not sung it in High Valyrian, which most of the guests could not speak.
Yeah, that's very inclusive there. I like that. Inclusive society.
And lastly, we've got, his lordship informed me that he had no further need of my sword or my insolence.
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
Matt?
The Bastard of Night Song?
No.
Pepperaffi, indeed.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, I'll tell you for free, this is a Tyrell card.
Hodor.
Christ. Shouldn't have trust that. What's his name? I've been doing lots of research in the background. He's the one who goes after Brienne. Christ. Sir Hunt?
I'll give you that. It is Sir Hyle Hunt, or as all good people call him, Sir Kyle.
Seems a bit like a Jeremy to me.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the end of that round, and you've all scored about the same, so I'm not going to bother giving updates on score. Everyone's caught up on Joe by 2 points. So good work.
Hey, I'm
It's
in
happening.
I think I'm in Final Jeopardy range to like take down Joe here.
The last round is the round in which you have the prospect of scoring the most points, but we've got one more round to get through first. And this round was suggested by Keb Frith, and it is the Lost Message. So this is going to be identify a card after it has had its text mangled by being translated back and forth between Japanese and
Oh, not this again.
Oh my god, okay.
And I'll say in advance, good luck. There's like one or two of these that you might get. So it's going to be 5 points per correct answer because I think it's so unlikely that anyone gets more than just a couple of these.
So it's card text, not the title, not the type, just card text.
Just the card text, and with a
Okay.
few of them where they've had like shadow or ambush, I've removed that bit because it just didn't like go funny in the translations. So for some of them, like a
thanks for that.
keyword has been lopped off. And like the previous round, there's going to be 2 neutrals and then 1 for each faction. But unlike the last round, it's not going to be in order of the 2 neutrals, then Barrow, Greyjoy, Lanny, and so on. It's just going to be randomized.
Okay.
So, first one is closed for the holidays with each character. At this stage, followed by a further challenge.
For the night is
Round
dark
1.
and full
Matt.
of terrors.
In Daznak's Pit?
In Daznak's Pit is the correct answer. Closed
Yeah.
for the holidays with each character, which I assume is to do with it being at the end of the phase. Closed for the holidays. And then, followed by a further challenge.
Yeah.
Kind of.
My daughter's
That's-
quotes from last
yeah.
year make more sense.
If you think that one was tough. Next up, we've got in the hands of the Blessed Virgin Mary, at least one challenge lost in exchange for participation in the issue of the cost of the owner of the white paper.
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
The Faith and Militant agenda?
No.
Okay.
So that was in the hands of the Blessed Virgin Mary, at least one challenge lost in exchange for participation in the issue of the cost of the owner of the white paper.
Oh dear God.
Well, you know, this in the spirit of
It's so-
Christmas. You know, the Virgin
that's so
Mary has
close.
made an appearance.
Anyone want to have a guess?
Burning
God,
on,
I'm about to
burning
kick
on the
myself.
sand.
No. I will say again with these, for the most part, I've tried to have them be from the last year or so.
Oh, okay.
Dracarys.
Joe,
Honor bound. Why not?
Honor Bound is a wild guess, but not correct. George, do you want to have a random guess of a card that exists?
To the Spears?
No.
Is it?
The correct answer, obviously, was Maiden of Poisons. I don't know how you didn't get that. Like Maiden somehow goes to Blessed Virgin Mary somewhere along the lines, and then it talks about losing a challenge, and then it goes back to the owner of the white paper, which I think is the card. Like,
card returns to hand. Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, there's a lot of Okay, next up, I believe this is the only one that's not from the last year, but it is from like the last 15 months or so.
Okay.
In addition, with an answer of 5, at least 2 destroy at least his or her card. In the disposition to control with your hand to hide, the queen of the baby is returning headache. This is the biggest challenge. Joe.
Hidden Thorns.
Hidden Thorns is the correct answer.
Amazing.
Well done.
The queen of the baby.
I'm not even angry. I'm impressed.
The queen of the baby is returning headache, indeed.
Yeah.
And I think this is the biggest challenge, is because it's max 1 per challenge.
Wow.
Okay, next up. At the end of the storm, he kneels to pick a person to act. The player draws many factions with the power of 1 card.
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
Matt.
Blackwater Bay.
Damn it.
No.
Oh, okay, I was going to say that. Oh.
Hodor.
Ben.
What's her name? Celeste Graffian?
No.
Dracarys.
Joe.
Oh, what's it? Septum Meribald?
No. George, do you have anything?
Could you read it again, please?
At the end of the storm, he kneels to pick a person to act. The player draws many factions with the power of 1 card.
Old Town Scholar.
No. It is a Maester, though. It is Storm's End Maester.
Ah.
The clue's right there in the first line, at the end of the storm.
It's true.
Yeah, I blocked that character out of my brain.
But he was going to be your Breaking Ties. Oh, yeah.
No. That was going to be, what's his name? Moonboy was going to be the Breaking Ties, champion, but alas. Yeah.
Next up. Selection rules are humbly kneel at the house of solo work and sacrifice. The cost depends on the player character's stand. George.
Shame.
Is this the House of Black and White?
It is not the House of Black and White.
Hodor.
Really?
Ben.
Old Town.
No.
Okay.
Can you keep reading that?
That was the end of it. I can repeat it.
Yes, please.
Selection rules are humbly kneel at the house
For the
of
night is
solo
dark and
work.
full of terror.
Matt.
Skagos?
No. At the house of solo work and sacrifice. The cost depends on the player character's stand.
So kneel and sacrifice. God. I don't-
Any guess, or should I say it?
I can't think of it.
Oh, I have a guess.
Yep.
Is it Trading with Kohor?
No.
Okay.
It's Hard Home.
What does that card even do?
Yeah, it does sacrifice.
Choose an opponent in kneel and sacrifice Hard Home as dominance action.
Yeah.
To choose a player, that player must sacrifice a standing character
Oh,
that they control.
okay.
Obviously, since it's sacrifice.
It's really good with Craven if you don't attack.
Yeah.
What was I do once? Craven and Ghost.
Ooh.
Yes, I was that guy.
Okay. Next up, we've got each opponent randomly discards cards from his or her hand. After the card he or she controls exits the shadow during the challenge phase.
For the night is dark and full of terrors.
Matt.
Cersei Lannister?
Cersei Lannister is the correct answer. That is by far the easiest one.
Yeah. I was waiting for something weird to happen, so I wasn't passing it.
It mostly is, I chose that just because I like that it said each opponent randomly.
randomly. So you have to pick a random way to randomly discard a card from your hand, right?
I suppose so.
Okay, cool.
Okay, next up. Plot the card on which you can plot the selected stakes action.
Hodor.
Ben.
Oh, God. Crafty Crow?
No.
Ah.
I see where you're going for, but no.
Okay.
Unless there is a printed card
Oh,
text
yeah,
box, the double action features... George?
Shame.
Assault from the Shadows?
No.
Dracarys.
Joe?
Double dealing.
Double dealing is the correct answer.
Yeah, that was the name of
Two
it.
plots. That's why it's two plots.
Plot the card on which you can plot the selected stakes action. Unless there is a printed card text box, the double action features a round limit of the new plot card.
Sure, why not?
Next one. Short and sweet. You cannot defend declared 2 characters
For
challenge
the night is
military
dark
plot.
and full of terrors.
Matt.
Grand Melee?
No.
No. Can you say it again? Sorry.
You cannot defend declared 2 characters challenge military plot. It's gone quiet.
Yeah.
Because we all feel it's Grand Mel.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, well, yeah, it's Grand Many, clearly. Must be these 2 characters. Oh, okay.
I will say this is quite misleading.
Good. That's what we like. We like misleading.
George?
Shame.
Tawny Lance?
No. No, you're still thinking far too close to what it actually says.
Sorry, one last time, Wamma.
You cannot defend declared 2 characters challenge military plot.
Hold on.
It's like a White House press release. I know.
Is it? I think I know.
What is it? It's probably from too long ago, but for the watch.
No,
Okay.
Is it Haunted Forest Scout?
it is not. Weirdly, this is a card that you already guessed earlier for a different one. It's Honor Bound.
I was thinking that, but it didn't sound like right.
You cannot defend declared 2 characters challenge military plot.
Now you say it's clear.
I was
intrigue.
I think because it's declared 2 characters, like you think that it means 2 characters for some weird reason. But I think the 2 comes into it just from the +2 strength.
Yeah.
I don't know where the word defend got in there.
Can't defend intrigue, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh no, it's you cannot attached character cannot participate in intrigue challenges.
Okay.
Which I think that entire thing just got reduced to the word plot at the end. Yeah, we've got 2 more to go. So next one I think is my favourite one of the lot.
Oh, God.
Okay, it is times, control card folded is kneeling victim word wrap booty reconnaissance ship X.
What?
I can repeat that if you'd like.
Please.
Times, control card folded is kneeling victim word wrap booty reconnaissance ship X. Ben.
Queen's Guard.
No.
What the heck?
Shame.
George.
Scouting vessel.
Scouting vessel is indeed the booty reconnaissance ship.
Damn it.
Where it got times, I have no idea. But yeah,
Wow.
so that's scouting vessel.
Amazing.
Last one of the round. It is only 7 letters. Knees character healing reaction.
Hold
with the Ben.
Oh, God, I shouldn't have done that. That was me.
Last chance for points from the round.
Yeah, sorry. What's it say? So, healing Neil's character. Sorry, what's it? Healing balm. I don't know.
No, you're going far too close to what
Yeah,
the actual
text
thing
says.
is. So it is only 7 letters. Knees character healing reaction. With the exception of the card's text box properties, printing of the ATK process is empty. George.
Shame.
Kingsmen.
No.
Dracarys.
Joe.
Scepter Baylor.
No. I see where you're all coming from, but no.
All right, say that again.
It is only 7 letters. Knees character healing reaction.
So only 7
With
letters.
the exception of the card's text box properties, printing of the ATK
Oh, I know what it is.
process
For God's
empty.
sake.
I have no idea. Vince, Drawn God Fanatic.
It's
No.
Brothers Robes.
It is Brothers Road.
Oh.
So it is only 7 letters, I guess, is attached
The
to a
7
7, the
characters,
7
yeah.
character only or something.
Okay.
7 characters, yeah, letters.
Okay.
Bloody
Yeah.
That's so.
Amazing.
Why do card game companies struggle to translate rules into other countries?
I can't
I
imagine.
didn't get it really.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, this program is deliberately designed to mangle it as much as possible.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, it's hilarious. I love this.
Yeah, they are
thinking.
wonderful. Okay, so going into the final round, we have Joe way out in front on 62. Then Ben is still in second on 47. George in third on 41. And Matt in fourth on 36.
Okay.
So there is a 26-point gap between Joe and Matt. However, theoretically, Matt could gain 175 points from this.
Oh man, is this the round where I made a fool of myself last year?
It is, but I've tweaked the rules slightly to try to prevent that happening again.
Awesome.
This round is the Street of Silver. So there's going to be 4 decks, and you're each going to get a chance to go first, like with the previous rounds. You're going to give me a bid. That is a bid of how many cards you think you can name from that deck, including faction, agenda, plots, and draw deck. I'm going to tell you how many different cards there are in that deck. You're each going to give me a bid. At that point, starting with the person who bids the lowest, that person is going to try and name as many cards as they said they'd be able to. If they are able to, they get that many points. If they get a single one wrong, they get 0 points. And then either way, it goes on to the next person who has those cards as a freebie. Is that clear, or do you want me to re-explain it?
That's fine.
I get it.
I got it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So Ben will be bidding first on the first one. And the first deck is Dr. Goodstuff's Green Bean Machine. This is the deck that yours truly won the European Championships with this year. So Ben, from that deck, it has 43 unique cards across the faction, agenda, plots, and draw deck. How many do you think you can name? And unlike last year, we're not doing like an auction where you get to make multiple bids. I want one bid from each of you for each of these decks.
22.
22 out of the 43 cards.
Yeah, just above middle.
Joe?
I feel like I should be able to get them all in theory, but I'm not going to be that bold. So I'm going to say 35. 35
of 43. George?
Oh, I'll take 36 because I played it too.
36 from George. And Matt?
Oh man!
Keep in mind, if like Joe and George both don't get to 35, then they're getting 0 points. So you don't have to go higher or lower. Just go with how many you think you can actually.
I think I can do 40, but I'm not going to bid 40 because I'm going to make a fool of myself if I do. So I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna start us off with 20.
20.
20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we write stuff down as we go, like the ones that have been named, or is that another round?
Yeah, no, you're more than welcome to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so it's going to go Matt to get to 20, and then Ben to get up to 22, then Joe to 35, George to 36. So Matt, take it away.
Okay, here we go. Mace Tyrell.
Mace Tyrell is correct.
Renly Baratheon.
Renly Baratheon is correct.
Marjorie Tyrell.
Correct.
Randall Tarley.
Correct.
Okay, now we get to the tougher ones. Once we get past the high cost uniques, now it gets a little more dicey at this point. Okay, so this was your Euros winning deck. So you were really tricky. You were really tricky. So let's go with the let's not go there yet because I don't know which tricks you were. But I think you were running Hightower Spies. Thinking of tricky, Hightower Spy.
Hightower Spy is correct.
Okay, left and right.
Left and right are correct and correct. I didn't include one.
Okay, you had left and right. Well, let's go with some other easy ones. Let's go with the High Tower.
The High Tower is correct.
Okay. Let's go with the Arbor.
The Arbor is correct.
Okay, let me write that down. Okay, what else did you have in there? You had... I don't know. Did you have Great Halls? I think you had Great Halls, so let's go with Great Hall.
Great Hall is correct. And you're halfway there. That's 10.
All right. Yeah, I've got a lot of the easy ones. I'm pretty sure you had Growing Strongs in there, so let's go with Growing Strong.
Correct.
Okay, what else did you have in there? All right, maybe let's move on to some plots. There were 10 of them. The Wars to Come.
The Wars to Come is correct.
House Tyrell.
Also correct. I was worried you were going to
Oh,
miss
man.
those for a moment.
Okay, so we've done House Tyrell, we've done The Wars to Come. Now let's talk about some plots. Now I'm pretty sure you had Political Disaster in there.
I did.
Yeah, I remember this. Okay, this is all coming back to me. You had Political Disaster, because this was Wars to Come, so you had a lot of tricky stuff. You had The King in the North.
The King in the North.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You had Breaking Ties, because that's what got it all restricted.
Yeah, it's Wamma's fault.
Yeah. All my fault.
And
You've got 4 more to go for the record.
You've got Flea Bottom, because all the cards that got restricted, they were all in your deck. Danny was basically looking at your deck list, by the way, when he decided to come up with the restricted list.
3 more to go.
Okay, so you had Flea Bottom. Now I can just go all over the place, but you know what? I don't want to be too risky here. I don't want to be too risky. You see, I could go with some interesting uniques, but I'll go with some easy ones. I'll go with Garden Caretaker.
Garden Caretaker is correct.
Okay. Now we're gonna go with some. All right, let's see what else you got in plots. You had Trade Routes.
No.
Ooh.
Seriously?
We don't have trade routes.
You didn't have Trade Routes in there?
No.
Oh.
I went with Political Disaster instead.
Oh.
You contested this a lot.
We did. We went back
No.
on trade routes in there. And
Oh.
Well done, Matt. You went low and you still made a fool of yourself.
I only needed 2 more to get 20
Oh, come on! I just went for an obvious
So
one.
I've got.
That's what gets me every
I
time.
need to get 4 more. I need to get 4. Is that?
Ben, yeah, we now move on to Ben, who needs to get 4 more of them.
Oh.
Right. We've not had Brienne of Tarth yet.
We've not.
So
Would you like to add
I'm
Brienne of
guessing
Tarth?
Brienne of Tarth's in there. You're running Kings.
Correct.
Okay. Bloody hell. Cause, Knight of Flowers.
Correct.
What have I had? Red Wine Straits.
Correct.
So 1 more,
1 more to get 22 points.
and I can back off. Nightmares.
Nightmares is correct.
Yeah.
So that's 22 points to
Thanks for
Ben.
doing all the hard work, Matt.
How did I lose this?
Thank you, Matt.
It's okay. There's still another 3 after
So
this.
do I
Matt.
get 22 points for that?
Yep, you get 22 points, and we move on to Joe to see if he can name another 13 to get 35 points.
Okay, well, let's try not to get this horribly wrong. I feel like I've just got to pick the ones I know are in there. Okay,
Well, that's
so
generally how
Old
this
Town
works.
Informer.
Sorry, Joe?
Old Town Informer.
Old Town Informer is correct.
Willis Tyrell.
Willis Tyrell is correct.
Is that the one you knew to make Marge better?
Yes.
You took him?
Yeah, because he's loyal and he's a lord for
A
March.
loyal lord.
Oh, of course, Breaking Ties meta. Okay.
Crown of Golden Roses.
Crown of Golden Roses is correct.
Can't see all my stuff on my notepad anymore.
10 more.
Filthy Accusations.
Yep.
This was
Pulling the Strings.
Yep.
Wardens of the South.
Yep.
What else do we have? Time of Plenty.
Yep. Best plot in the game.
It's funny, Rich Walker says you hate that plot.
God, what were the other plots? I can't.
How did you not have Trade Routes?
Is this going to be how did Joe Miranda not have Grandmaster Pycelle?
Yep, part 2. Yep, this is gonna be 1 a year. I guarantee it.
God, I'm trying to think. Hand's Judgment.
Hand's Judgment is correct. You need 5 more.
What have we got on the chud? Butter Bumps.
Butter Bumps is correct.
How many more?
4 more.
Oh, I don't want to get this wrong.
Because we're now, Joe, at a point where if you'd said 31, you'd have 31 points. And you'd
Yeah.
be miles in the lead, you'd be laughing.
There's just cards I'm pretty sure were there, but Like, there's at least 2 limited that could be in it, but I can't remember which one. So I feel like it was only one of them.
Be bad if you got it wrong.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That'd be as silly as naming trade routes.
Yeah. I mean, who runs trade routes?
Right. Fuck it. Rose Garden.
Rose Garden is correct.
How many left?
3 more you need to get. I can hear you sweating through.
Yeah, because there's so many. I don't want to get it wrong because I played this deck so many times. And Jules only got to get 1 more.
I think trade routes was in my version.
I think it was
43, but I've definitely got enough now.
Doing it under pressure is the harder part.
Yeah.
What would I flip if I was going through? First no winner.
First no winter is correct. 2 more.
I'm not allowed to back out at 34, am I?
No. Also, you're at 33.
Okay.
You can do it. Yeah, go on.
For God's sake.
Just got to take a chance.
We've got all of the events, I'm pretty sure. Don't think we're on nose. I feel like there was another attachment, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, Allery Tyrell.
Allery Tyrell is correct. 1 more to get the money.
I don't want to get it wrong.
Just say trade routes, okay? It's fine. We'll all understand.
Everything rides on this next call.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Get some tense music going. This video just got demonetized.
In the interest of getting this done before the cards cycle out, got 10 seconds now.
Rose Road.
Rose Road is not correct. George, it's over to you. You need to get 2 more cards to get 36 points.
Okay. I might ever try all 43 after this, but I'll go for the ones I know right.
Okay.
So I'll finish off some of the plots, shall I? So let's go close call.
Yep.
And perhaps the spiciest plot, your king commands it.
Your king commands it, and that's 36 points to George.
All right.
Right.
Do you want to go for a wheelie and try and do the remaining 7 cards?
Let's just see how high I can get here. So stuff I know is in, but we haven't said yet. Varys.
Varys, yep.
I was wondering.
Garth the Gross.
Yep, Garth the Gross.
Garland Tyrell.
Garland Tyrell is correct. Sorry, connection went there.
Yeah, I heard Sir Paxter Redwine was mentioned as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Paxter
yeah.
Redwine. Yeah.
Paxter is also...
next. Yeah. Now we start getting a little shaky. I will try Isle of Ravens.
No. Isle of Ravens was like the last card I cut from that deck.
Okay.
So you would have got to 40 before you got one wrong.
Did we get all the plots?
I've got
Yes.
I've got question marks next to Littlefinger and Heartsbane as well.
Was there bodyguards? My head.
It was not.
There were no bodyguards. There were because it was like 36 characters. This one had like a lot of characters and a bunch of locations, but had very few events.
Yeah,
Well, it had like the 7
ball.
events and like very few attachments. I think only 2. Yeah.
Littlefinger is correct. The other 2 cards are Leighton Hightower and Sir Colon of Green Poos.
Hey, there we go.
Oh yeah, cheap loyal. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't remember any of those.
Okay.
And that has taken George into the lead going into the next one.
What?
In fact, it's actually pushed Joe down to third because Ben has also overtaken him.
Steady and
I
safe.
swear I lost on this round before. But I'd take the lead the whole game, then I lose on the last thing.
Last year,
okay,
I went
You
back and
make a-
listened just to make sure I wasn't repeating anything exactly. And last year, you literally lost to Ben on the last question.
Oh.
It's okay, Joe. You didn't make a fool of yourself like I
I
did.
also have George has been skulking at the bottom for most of it, and also now just shoot straight into the lead.
Yeah, he's timed it well.
Cahoots.
But having said that, there are still 3 more decks to do this with.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
have
and you've
36
very much played
as
to
well.
my strength in this first deck.
You like deck building, do you, George?
I've played this one a lot.
The Skogoki Koki.
See,
Another one of your
this as
decks.
well.
This is a deck that made the top 4 of Worlds. It was also King of Swiss at Worlds. I think I was the one that piloted it, as I recall. And there are 37 unique cards across Faction Agenda, Plots, and Draw Deck. And we're starting with Joe.
30.
30. Were you going to guess 32 and then you
I
decided?
was going to guess 37, but I didn't really feel like that left much to go with.
George?
Oh, I mean, I don't know this one as well, but I feel like it'd be like easier to flag some answers for. I will try 31.
31 for George. Matt?
I'm just going to go easy mode and go with 12.
12 for Matt. And Ben?
What did George go?
George went 31.
I will go 32.
32.
Because this deck I've actually played quite a bit.
Okay. Sorry, for Ben, 32 even. So Matt, start us off. Rattle off 12.
12 cards.
Yeah.
House Stark.
House Stark is correct.
Okay, that's good. Okay, I know this. This is the deck I'm thinking of. Fealty.
Fealty is correct.
Okay, Catelyn Stark.
Catelyn Stark is correct.
Oh,
Okay, that's
Oh,
that's
quick
good.
Also,
question.
actually, sorry.
I'm about to say,
Yeah.
do we have to say different versions of the characters?
This is a point I should have said before, and I apologise. The way I did this was I just counted the number of lines, and looking at it now, that has resulted in multiple ones. So the way I'm going to count this is I'm just going to say when you say Catelyn Stark, that counts as 2.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because
Are you
this
going to
is
notify him?
because this is James. This is your Skagos deck.
Well, yes.
Is that a guess of a certain card?
Yeah, Skagos.
Skagos is
Yes,
correct.
it's
Yes.
I'm also guessing Flea Bottom.
Flea Bottom is correct.
Okay, and this is Stark, so it's going to have Wyman Manderley.
It is going to have Wyman Manderley.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards named. Oh, I just need what, 5 more or 3
5.
more?
Say the card.
Five.
Say the card you said in the last one.
No,
No,
I'm not even going to try plots anymore because. but I'm pretty sure there's a time for wolves, right?
There is a time for Wolves.
Okay, you see?
I
Okay,
love it. I'm
good,
not
good. I
gonna do
didn't make a
plots
total
anymore,
fool of
but time
myself.
for wolves?
Okay, okay. All right, what else we got here? Winterfell Steward.
Winterfell Steward is correct.
God. Okay. I can't. I'm not even remembering any Stark cards. I play Stark like so infrequently. So let's go with. There's got to be some version of Arya Stark in here.
There are 2 versions of Arya Stark in there, so that's an extra 2, which means you only need to give me 1 more card.
One more card. Oh, yeah. This is the hard part because I just don't know Stark that well. I'm just gonna have to. Oh, like what are the good Stark cards these days, guys? I just don't remember. So we're gonna go with. I mean, your deck was a little weird, so I'm not even gonna guess like the easy ones. Like, do you even like have? There's got to be some brand in there, right?
Bran Stark is a correct answer.
Oh, thank God!
There
You know,
you go,
'cause we could
12
have
points.
had another trade routes moment there.
You're on the board with 12, and now Joe, give us another 18 to take it to 30.
Okay. Exchange of information.
Yes.
Val and Morgullis.
Yes.
Oh, God. I'm doubting everything when I start this. But I'll go with the other easy ones. Rob Stark.
Rob Stark is correct.
Summer.
Summer is correct. I like that Matt said time for Wolves and then didn't actually say anything.
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah.
Only the best.
Shows you how
wolves
much.
game, you know.
Shows you guys how much I play Stark.
Ramsey.
Ramsey's correct.
Winter is coming.
Yep.
I am no one.
Yep.
Northern Armory.
Northern Armory is correct, yeah. Need 10 more.
Probably that game.
Frozen Solid.
Yep.
Yeah, everything just goes from my head as soon as I start doing this. Like, there's clearly other obvious ones. Oh yeah, Ward.
Ward is correct.
I'm pretty sure I was on Time and Plenty.
Yeah, it's a deck I built, so yeah, time and plenty.
March to the Wall.
Yep. We need 6 more.
Hot Tree Grove.
Yep. I hear that's a start card.
I totally blanked on the name of that one. I was about to say like Winterfell, Winterfell Heart Tree.
That's the one which you can sacrifice to make a start card immune to plot effects.
Yeah, I stopped myself.
Mirror Read.
Mirror Read is correct.
What are other good start cards? Are unique.
So, listeners, we've confirmed that this is a good stuff deck.
That's probably a fair assessment.
It's dark.
You can make bad start there.
How many have I got left?
You need 4 more.
Trade routes.
Yes.
Told you, Matt.
Yeah.
Rose Road.
Yeah, well, it's a good stuff deck. Of course it runs trade routes. Yeah, Rose Road's correct.
What other bloody characters does Stark have?
Who wouldn't include Rose Road in a deck? Sorry, include trade routes in a good stuff deck, man.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Heroes champion.
Maybe that's why I was top 4 at Worlds and not first, because I included trade routes.
It's true.
Yeah.
You should have gone for trading with Pentoshi. Far better.
Isle of Ravens.
Isle of Ravens is correct. One more to get 30 points. Pulled at the last hurdle again. 10 seconds.
Yeah, this is this bloody thing last time.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Great Hall.
Great Hall is correct.
Oh,
Nice.
Well done.
30 points for Joe.
Well done.
Now, George needs to name one more to get 31 points.
I have a few written down, but I will go for Umber Loyalist.
Umber Loyalist is correct. And now Ben needs to get one more
And
to get
on the same
30.
theme, I'm going to go with Great John Umber.
Great John Umber is also correct. So that's 32 points to Ben.
There was also Eddard, I don't think was mentioned.
Eddard was not mentioned, that's correct.
Sansa, I don't think was mentioned.
Yeah, you could have got 2 points for Sansa because there were 2 versions of Sansa.
Okay, may I take a guess?
Is there a Wolf King in there?
There was not Wolf King, no. There's 2 more remaining now.
Hodor?
Nope.
Everyone's favourite
Daisy
lady.
Mormont?
I say Daisy, yeah.
Yeah, Daisy is the last character in that deck.
And
Good
King
stuff.
Plot?
Not King
There's no
Plot.
kings.
No Kings.
Is there just a plot left?
Yeah, there's 1 plot remaining.
We said close call, haven't we?
Nope.
Oh,
No.
there we go.
That's cool. That's the last one.
Okay.
I thought we'd done with plots, so I'd take them all off in my head.
Okay, so that has sort of extended Matt not being in the lead. But he has got more points now. Which is
I have more points.
Yeah.
Yep. And I did not make a fool of myself this time, so that's good.
With Joe, Ben, and George all scoring within 2 points of each other, not much has changed. I'm not going to lie, Matt. It's looking bleak for your chances of winning.
It's okay. Just hand me like a Baratheon deck, and then I'll make a fool of myself.
It is still literally possible for you to win. But it'll be George to bid first for the next one, and the next one is Diplomatic Disaster. This was the top deck of the Swiss
Stop picking your own bloody decks.
at Starlek 2018.
Oh no, I never read this one.
Okay. This one I will admit to not knowing quite as well.
Yeah.
So
And you changed it.
I'm going to be a little more conservative here. I'll take 21.
21 of the 34 cards, George says he can name. Matt?
Oh, I don't know this deck at all because I don't think I've ever actually clicked on it. So I'm going to go with 10.
10. 10.
What
Ben?
was George's guess, sorry?
George's guess was
How
21.
many points am I behind him?
17.
17.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was
37, mate. Go for it.
Okay, let's try and cut it down this time. I'll go for
37 out of 34 would be an ambitious.
I'll go for 7
bid.
more than George.
7 more. So you're going for 28 out of 34.
Yeah. Well,
20.
go go home. Joe?
22. I said it. I think you got caught up.
Yeah. Okay. So Matt, rattle off 10 cards.
Okay, so it's called diplomatic disaster, and I think the reason for that is you probably have political disaster in there.
Probably. Yeah, that's 1.
Okay, and if you have political disaster, you probably have the arbor.
That is correct.
Okay, that's 2. That's good. And oh, right, it's Tyrell. So I should probably just say House Tyrell.
Yeah, House Tyrell seems like a good shout.
Yeah, and you were a hipster, so I think you played Assault from the Shadows.
Yeah, how's playing the new shiny being a hipster?
Okay.
I am a hipster, but
Yeah, but you know, who plays Assault from the Shadows?
yeah.
Okay, so that's 4. All right. Now I'm gonna draw a blank right now because I don't know. I never clicked on this deck, but I just had a feeling you had disaster in there, and disaster implies arbor.
Just name good Tyrell cards. You'll be fine.
Okay, so it's Assault from the Shadows. So you probably have Old Town Undercity.
Correct.
Okay, that's good. All right, halfway there. Okay, we're speaking of shadows. Let's go with Queen of Thorns.
Yep.
Okay, and you want to maximize your revenue from Queen of Thorns. Let's go with Renly Baratheon.
Yep.
Okay, doing this entirely on, assumption and
I mean, there's
logic.
a to the train of thought you're going.
I want to say this one particular character, but I have no idea whether that's correct. Let's go with some of the easier ones. Let's go with Garden Caretaker.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Okay, we got that.
2 more.
I don't even know what your win condition is, so I don't know
Gets
even where to go
15
with the character.
Yeah,
I don't even know what
I didn't kill anyone throughout the day.
Yeah, I don't know what your win condition is. Oh, wait a minute. You're going shadows. Okay, you're going shadows. You've got some stealth. Did you have pinch of powder in there?
I did have a pinch of powder in there.
Okay. All
One
right.
more card.
Okay, you had pinch of powder. Okay, that seems right. You said one more card?
Yep, 1 more.
Oh, and this is where I'm going to lose it. Okay, well, I already said the Arbor. I already said Old Town Undercity. You've probably got some other locations in there. Rose Road.
Rose Road is correct.
Oh, thank God.
That's 10 points for Matt.
Okay.
And over to George to give us another 11 to take it up to 21.
Oh, this is going to go worse than the last time, I can tell. Let's go through the stuff I know. So, Shrewd Diplomat.
Yes.
Flea Bottom.
Yes.
Old Town Informer.
Yes.
Left.
Yes.
Red Wine Straits.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. How much of a div would you have looked if Red Wing Straight had somehow been wrong?
Pretty bad. Hightower Spy.
No.
Oh, no!
Oh, God damn it, George.
No Hightower Spy.
I
You
think
upset
so.
because now you've got to name 6 instead of
Yeah,
1.
I only wanted to do 1.
Well, on the plus side, if you do get 6 more, then you'll only be 4 points behind George going into the last one.
Oh, God. All right.
And this might be where Ben regrets going to 28 as
Oh,
well.
I already have.
Oh, fine. Growing strong.
Growing strong is correct.
What was your plot lineup?
That's what killed me. Working out the plot.
Let's go with close call.
Yeah.
I remember cards you had in it, then I think you took them out, which is the problem.
I only made like 14 changes the morning of.
Nightmares?
Nightmares is not correct.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did you take that one out?
I can't remember, to be honest.
Right, how many do we need to get?
You need to get 10 more then.
Right. Well, you're playing Assault, so Hand's Judgment.
Yep, that's correct.
King Plot?
Yep. Burnley's in it, so why not?
VD?
Yes, BD is the correct plot name.
We've not had Brienne of Tarth, have we, again?
You've not yet had Brienne of
So I'm
Tarth,
going to
no?
say her because you have a king, so of course you're going to have Brienne of Tarth.
Yep. Yep, sounds logic.
How many more have we got to go?
6 more.
Knight of Flowers?
The Knight of Flowers is correct. 5 more to take the lead. Going into the last one. Would decide the game.
Poison Coin
is correct.
That was a complete guess.
You played Poison Coin?
Yeah.
I thought that card was bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I wouldn't play it again if I played the deck again.
Pulling the Strings?
Pulling the Strings is correct. 3 more cards.
Exchange?
Yep, Exchange is correct.
Marge?
Marge is correct. 1 more needed.
Ooh.
It's your deck. We had Time of Plenty.
We've not had Time of
Time
Plenty.
of Plenty. It's got to be. It's your deck.
Correct. That's 28 points for Ben.
Nice.
There were some pretty obvious ones left over as well. Like, it's for a Tyro Shadows deck. No one said Scheming Septon.
Oh, well, it's not a Shadows card.
It is a Shadows card.
Well, no, why would you put it into Shadows?
To get triggers of things.
Okay, but generally speaking, I mean,
no one said Randall Tarley. I hear he goes in Tyrell decks.
Yeah, but does he go in Tyrell Shadows?
Yeah, that's...
We don't know.
Free with Queen of Thorns when you're running Marjorie, which people got.
We didn't know till the end that Marjorie was in it.
And the others, just to finish it, were Garth the Gross, High Garden Courtier, Arbor Marketplace, and Crown of Golden Roses.
Oh, yeah. It was stuff. The stuff I had in my head was like Jack and Hagar, John Fosterway, Old Town, things you did have in the deck at one point.
That's the stuff that I cut to make it more boring the day of. Yeah. The last deck. Now, this is another of my decks, but I didn't... I mean, I kind of built this, but I kind of didn't. So this one is Tyrion Tanner. This is the deck that I played at the Brighton Charity Joust.
Now, Wamma, can I make a little note here?
Yeah.
Let it be officially known that I can read you like a book. This is the one thing I revised before the end of this book.
Oh, no, I'm buggered.
Well, George, there are 61 different cards in this ridiculous deck. You get to be the last in this round. So, Matt.
1.
I know exactly which one you're going to say.
Okay, in that case, 2. Oh, let's make it interesting.
You're going to say 2.
2.
Okay. Ben.
How many points am I behind? So ahead of...
You're currently 11 ahead. I'll give the scores at this time. So Matt is on 58. Joe is on 92. George is on 118. And Ben is on 129.
So you said I'm at 11. I'm going to guess 2020?
2020?
No, just 20. So not 2,200. That'd be 220. That'd be pretty hard.
Okay. Joe.
How many points would I need to win?
To beat Ben, who's currently in the lead, you need to get at least 38 points more than him in this round. So if Ben gets 20, you'd need to be able to name 58 out of the 61 cards.
If he gets 20.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get 20,
if he doesn't get 20, then you need 38 to go ahead.
Then I'll go 38. Why not?
30.
Oh man, this is
okay. So by my reckoning, I need to get 12 more than Ben, whatever happens this round.
Yeah. So now you need to get 13 more than, or you need to get at least 13 to cover off Joe.
Yeah. So I will go for 33.
Okay. People are playing tactically. I like it.
It's not possible to win at this point.
It is if Ben and George both get it wrong and you get it right.
yeah. This is like Final Jeopardy dynamics.
Doesn't George just get one more than me?
Granted, if George has specifically looked up this deck, then he might be okay. We should see.
I haven't got 33 things written down yet.
Matt.
Yeah.
Give me your 2 cards.
Okay. So I've thought about this, and there's one card that I know you and I in our conversations have fought over, tooth and nail, and it's Late Summer Feast.
Late Summer Feast is correct.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. And there's one card that's like near and dear to my heart that we haven't fought over so much. We just both have a mutual respect for it, and that's Ruby of R'hllor.
With due respect.
Matt gets his 2 points, taking
Yay!
a final score of 60. Ben, give me 18 more cards,
18
please.
more cards. Okay. Tyrell.
House Tyrell is correct.
Just checking.
I was going to get that wrong. I was thinking.
Are we?
I was thinking it was Baratheon.
Are we doing?
No.
So is it Alliance, Banner Stag, and Banner Sun?
Alliance, Banner Stag, and Banner Sun are 3 correct answers.
Brilliant. Flea Bottom.
Flea Bottom is correct.
I'm just going to go for Econ at this point. Rose Road.
Rose Road is correct.
Ocean Road.
Ocean Road is correct.
Okay.
Sorry, it's taking me a bit longer to confirm each card.
No, that's fine. I figure people weren't being absolute arseholes to you. The Arbor.
The Arbor is correct.
Red Wine Straits.
Red Wine Straits is correct.
Straits to the Moon.
The Moon is correct.
Pleasure Barge.
Pleasure Barge is correct. 7 more now.
Littlefinger.
Littlefinger is correct.
I do remember looking at this and I'm just freaking... Yeah, it was one of those decks I looked at and went, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of random one-offs in this deck. Well, not random, but very carefully selected.
Yeah, right. Very carefully selected by the lovely, lovely Game of Thrones community.
Yeah.
They're
all selected with care, just potentially different reasons.
I was trying to remember what I picked. Just remembered it.
Well, there's 2 chances to get this. A Renly Baratheon.
Yes, the Baratheon version of Renly Baratheon.
Okay.
Excellent.
I'm literally getting, I had double chances there.
5 more.
Marge?
Marjorie Tyrell is correct.
Because I got a feeling Josh would have put this in. I'm sure he bet in this. What's his face? Oakheart?
Sir Aris Oakheart. Right, Sir Aris Oakheart.
Literally going because that was his profile picture for a while.
That's correct. You need 3 more to deny Joe the victory.
Butterbumps.
Butterbumps is correct.
He's got to have good fools in there. So 2 more. I'm trying to think what was out at this point as well. Baratheon cards that begin. Queensmen?
Queensmen is correct. So you need 1 more card.
1 more card. 1 more card. Dear... Oh, fuck, what's his name? Damn, I'm not misspelling this. So Faceless Man?
Faceless Man is correct. And that's 20 points to Ben.
Joe, deliberately say don't say anything, so George has guessed them all.
I'm just going to go with the 2 I know.
It's George first.
Oh, okay.
Is it? Oh, right.
Yeah. George needs to get 33. Or he needs to get 13 more to win the game.
I'm pretty sure I can do it. So, let's start with the funniest cards in there. So, Patchface.
Patchface is correct.
I was wondering when
Motley.
someone was going to say...
Motley is correct.
I was wondering when someone was going to identify those.
It would be probably unfair of me not to mention this person because I pointlessly and violently murdered them in our game together. Hot Pie.
Hot Pie is correct, you evil man.
What did you do to Hot Pie?
RSVP. I just did a needless military killing. It was great. Battle of Blackwater.
Battle of the Blackwater is correct.
This sounds like a horrible deck to play.
Battle of Oxcross.
Fuck you, Rich. Sorry. Battle of Oxcross is correct.
Locked Away.
Locked Away is correct.
Now, it should be noted that I briefly considered revising the Eleanor Rigby verses just in case you were being a huge dick about this. But I didn't do that in the end. But I do remember one of my favourites being Tony's one for Planky Town Trader.
Do you remember what the verse was?
I do not remember, sadly, just that it was good. You should all go and read this deck list if this is not clear. It's great fun.
I was very proud of that deck list.
I mean this with exactly the amount of respect it deserves. It's the best thing you've done in Thrones.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Aww.
I guess I should mention the other card that I picked for you, which is Melisandre.
Yep.
Why are you being nice?
That was my aunt's fault. It was fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, someone has to take the Ruby of R'hllor attachment.
Change of plans.
Change of plans.
Don't steal my one.
That was your one,
What's
wasn't it,
change
Joe?
of plans?
Yeah.
How many have I got left?
4 more.
What's change of plans?
Okay.
Change of plans is after you lose a challenge, put an event from your plot deck into your use pile. Joe's theory being that I'd lose lots of challenges and have lots of bad plots I wanted to cycle through.
Get through the pain.
Okay. Ariane Martel.
Ariane Martel is correct.
Some people are far too nice.
Some people were enjoying the test of trying to make the deck work. And some people were enjoying trying to make it not work.
You actually had a winning record, didn't you?
Yeah, 3 and 2.
Yeah, I heard that one of those. I heard that at least one of those wins was due to Ruby of R'hllor beating a combo deck.
Yeah, Ruby of R'hllor is actually good against combo decks.
Told you guys. Told you.
Blessed by the Reese.
Blessed by the Reese is correct.
I can't remember what that card is.
The Dragon's Tail.
The Dragon's Tail is
Who's
correct.
gonna do it?
One more.
One more.
Yeah.
I'll take my pick. Let's go for one of my recent favourite cards, Strangler.
Strangler is correct. With that, George wins. But for the sake of completion of the game, Joe, if you'd like to try to get closer to Ben in score than to Matt, name 5 more.
Wow, that's an insult.
Annals of Castle Black.
Or as Darren famously put
Annals.
it, I gave him anals.
Nice.
That was the one I mainly had, but do you have Elena's Cunning in it?
Yep.
I'm just going to leave it there.
You're not going to try?
No.
But
I'm not going to put myself through the torture again for no reason.
There are so many different cards that could theoretically be correct.
I've got 7 more I couldn't remember.
I can't remember enough of it.
Just having a quick look, Matt. Your other favorite card is on this list.
What, Melisandre?
No. Your favorite Tyrell attachment.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah,
Silver hairnet, the one you had to go to therapy about.
Yeah.
We had an intervention.
Right, I heard that card's good now in Tyrell Sea of Blood.
No.
So speaking of this event that spawned this incredible incarnation, Joe, do you want to tell us anything about the Brighton Charity Joust and what's going to happen in 2019?
Yeah, it's happening again. It's been announced. It's April 27th, but it's going to be a 2-day event.
What?
Which will be announced in the new year.
Oh, excellent.
Cool. And that's at the
Very hyped.
pub again?
Yep.
Yeah, I had a great time when I
play a deck that isn't including Silver Hairnet or Ruby of R'hllor this year.
Is there a charity deck this year?
Yeah, of course.
Who's the poor sucker?
Can't tell you yet.
Oh.
But it is confirmed.
Well, it's okay. I'm saving to buy a flat this year, so I won't be chucking tons of money on Ruby of R'hllor. But if I do, it'll be for the children.
It is one of the best events of the year, though. Anyone who's considering going and hasn't yet absolutely should. Fantastic time guaranteed.
Yeah.
And of course, there's not just the event itself. There's going to be a quiz afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. And we've also had
Indeed.
practice.
Yeah, you'd need someone with experience at hosting quizzes to be able to run it. And you need someone with experience at winning quizzes to know what's required.
So, George, you're doing it, right?
Yeah. Wamma and I are going to be running Sticking with the Pointlessy End, which is our take on the classic, the modern classic UK format of Pointless. We are still recruiting for people who are not attending who would like to help us out by supplying some answers. So if you contact either one of us on Facebook, we will be glad to get any more assistance on that.
Oh, so you're doing so you're doing it like Pointless. Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, but we need our audience to provide the answers for the people actually attending the event to guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool.
And yeah, it finished with Matt on 60 points, Joe on 92 points, Ben on 149 points, and George with 151.
Good game, all.
Good job.
Thanks, George. So,
And thank you, Wamma, for a great quiz.
No worries. Thank you for indulging me.
So we're not having George on next year, right, guys?
Yep.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you very much for coming on to the second ever episode of Thrones Tonight. And
That's been a pleasure.
And I guess as this is by the time this goes out, it's going to be close to time. I wish you all Merry Christmas, as this is the Christmas episode.
The Christmas special.
To you.
But anyway, guys, well, thank you, Joe, for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you, George.
You're all right.
Thanks, Matt.
No problem.
And of course, thank you, Wamma, for putting the time and effort into making this lovely quiz.
No worries. It was my pleasure. Thank you for humouring me.
And yeah, guys, well, have a happy Christmas and a happy New Year. And as always, it has been emotional.